Salute, salute. Just a little under the weather, y'all. Salute to eternal spiritual father, the most high. You know what I'm saying? The real most high, not that colonial stuff, y'all. The ancestors, nature, that type of stuff. The stuff that actually carries us through, that connects with us through frequency. All right. Trolls, only God and your mama can love you. And last but not least, you know, I got to hit you with the one time. Yeah. I say one time. Y'all already know how this go. One time. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We are in here. Grand rising to everybody. I'm glad to see everyone. Glad everyone is in good health. You know, that's always a plus. That's always a plus. It's always a plus. All right. Give me a minute. Let me pin this cash app, y'all. All right. Who's ever rocking with me? I got a feeling that's my Mother Earth. You know what I'm saying? Grand rising to your Mother Earth. I got a feeling that's you. It's either you or Auntie. It's either you or Auntie. I'm pretty sure. All right. Y'all give me just a minute. Gotta set some things up. Oh, that came out all wrong. Grand rising to everybody. Just setting some last minute things into place. Work with me, ladies and gentlemen, work with me. My phone definitely don't want to work with me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got some stuff going on today. The first line of business I wanted to touch on actually was something I ran across by the amazing Lucas, where he's actually he's talking to, actually it's Plies, all right, talking to the Latino Foundation, the Latino community. All right, let's check this out.
Wait, what? Oh my goodness. So I came across this video Plies, which has since gone viral, of him asking the Latino community a question. He wanted to know, hey, whether or not they identify more with white people or they identify more with black people, because he was always under the impression that, you know, black people were at the hip, jointed at the hip with Latino people. And, you know, he's, you know, asking questions because he doesn't know anymore. He thought he knew, but now he doesn't know. And so he's asking these questions to the Latino community.
Just real quick, but this to my Latino brothers and sisters that follow me on here. I'm trying to get y'all to educate me on something. I'm being dead ass serious. I ain't being funny. I'm trying to see kind of what y'all feel. I'm trying to let y'all educate me on it because I don't want to be viewing y'all the wrong way. So I'm trying to figure out, do y'all feel like y'all align more with black folk, or do y'all feel like y'all align more with Caucasian? Like, and the reason I say that is because when I used to hear black and brown people, and I always thought we was like jointed to the hip. Like I always thought we was the black folk, you know, Latino, brown, you know. So I always thought we kind of shared some of the same struggles, same hardships, same, just, you know, we were similar.
Wake up, nigga.
I really want to break this down. Even though y'all are not gonna like my answer, all right? I'm just gonna let you know, some of y'all are gonna get triggered and be upset. Listen, when it comes to the whole black and brown coalition, I try to do my due diligence into that and where it originated and all of this, but it has never been to what many people think, especially jointing of the hip. That is goofy talk. Even when you look at the word coalition, fam, coalition is temporary. Do you not understand how stupid black people look talking about a black and brown coalition in 2026, fam? Beta! Coalition is temporary. It's a temporary alliance for a specific goal. Now, the question you have to ask yourself is, what has the coalition given black people? And I would argue nothing. That's what I would argue, okay? There has not been, historically, from my understanding, any type of black and brown coalition that its primary goal was to empower black people. I'm unaware of that, okay? You tell me. Even when we look at any type of coalition movement, from my understanding, the little bit of history that I know, when you look at any type of movement that was founded, it was always founded by a black person. And then the black person, would always say, hey, we're in this together. We're all in this together. We can look at Martin Luther King Jr., the Poor People's Campaign. Hell, you can even extend that to Civil Rights Campaign. We can look at Fred Hampton. The Rainbow Coalition. This was all very much encompassing. Hey, we got this. Let's do this together. You can go so far as the Black Panthers. Hell, I was mistaken to think that it was all about black. These people were, about the community. Hey, we got to do this together. So when you look at all of the coalitions that have been formed, it's been mainly and exclusively started by black people.
We? Who's we?
I'm unaware of any Latino coalition that was formed, even when it comes, whether it's Chicanos, whether it was, I forgot the other group, but they teamed up with Fred Hampton, okay? A lot of people hopped on the bandwagon to form this black and brown coalition, but their purpose was always for their empowerment. So if they could help you to achieve their empowerment, then yes, there was a coalition. There was a temporary alliance. Unfortunately, this is something that I always recommend black people to read, is Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome by Dr. DeGroy. It was a book that really enlightened me, but it goes to this just, I guess, I won't say fundamental flaw.
Walk lightly this morning, trolls, because I'm getting you out of here. I'm not even playing. I'm tired of being demonetized. Walk lightly. If you only hear the troll, I'm telling you, I'm getting you out of here. Go get a job. I'm already working. Get a job. But I do agree with what Lucas is saying. And I think, oh, there you go. You're out of here, kiddo. And I do believe there's lots of substance to what Plies is asking. Because for years, even Tupac rapped about it, We always thought it was black and brown. We always thought like the Spanish community rocked with us because they were going through similar things. But we forget that the Spanish community fought hard, y'all, to be identified as white. So this should be no surprise to anyone non-black that they are identifying this way and rolling, with the other culture, with the other demographic. All right, so it makes sense, y'all. It does make a lot of sense.
But for someone who doesn't think like this is a flaw to them. Because any time that we have made it, we've always looked out. Hey, you can come on. Hey, let's do this together. We're in this together.
Are you thinking who, what, when, where, why dental implants? Well, don't worry. We have our team on standby to go.
Even the cookout
It
is
has
extended
always
to other
been
groups
this
of
sense
people.
of community. Whether you're black, brown, Asian, Latino, it has always been welcoming. That has not been the case for any other group, I would argue. It's not been the case. So this is something that Malcolm X even talked about, right? He was like, hey, they don't outnumber us, they out-organize us. So now, in 2026, they not only outnumber us, but they out-organize us. Dang. While y'all is still talking about, we shall overcome, we can do this, y'all, we got to work together and all that, every other group is like, yo, how do we get out on top? Dr. Claude Anderson talked.
Facts, and we're seeing this happen around us daily. We're seeing immigrants coming to the country and get a better start on businesses and everything before us. And we've been here. We pay into the system. We fought in every war. We've proved who we are by far. And we've also proved that America cannot survive without us. Even if we are 13%, it's a very important 13%. Because every other culture, every other population mimics and emulates black people. Like that or not, it's true.
About this, which is why I find it so hilarious when I do criticism of said people or criticism of certain situations, and you get people in the comments talking about, well, what's your solution, Lucas? Huh? What's your solution? Elisa, Al Green.
And Ty, you got one more time. I'm gonna time you out. One more time. Get a job.
Is showing up a sign, at least he's doing something. And I'm like, bro, there have been people far smarter than me, far more educated, far more politically savvy, written books, done conferences. But the thing is, you niggas just, your solution sambos. That's what y'all are. Because when solutions are actually presented, nobody does it. Every single video I put in a list of books, whether it's Powernomics, whether it's Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, how many of y'all have actually read it and actually executed upon what it says? This has been an issue since we've been here. And every single person has said the same thing. Now it's to the point where you're in a position that you have to bet. You're in a position where you have to have a forced alliance because everyone else's coalition build off of your work.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Now, you may not like that, but that's the facts. It just is what it is. Everyone has coalition build. Everyone else has empowered their race, their group of people off of black coalition. Whether it's the gays, whether it's Latinos, whether it's whoever, you name the group. They definitely have done that. Asians, they take your resources, your culture, they take your money, your history, the laws that were put in, the Black Constitution, and they empower themselves. It's funny because we're just seeing this with Jasmine Crockett, where now you have all these black people going, oh, well, this is not fair, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, damn, this is Paul.
And no one was a bigger advocate for undocumented immigrants than Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett was not even a pro-black individual. She would speak black, but a lot of her policies weren't for blacks. She was an advocate of the immigrant community, and we saw the immigrant community turn her away. Because of the Latino vote, she lost her seat. But she advocated. When ICE was out here, she was advocating. Her, Maxine Waters, there was a bunch of black people advocating. And I was telling people then, stay in your place. This isn't our fight. They don't identify with us. In the words of Kendrick Lamar, they're not like us. All right? You have some that's cool. You have some that's cordial. You have some that you can, really chill with, get to know, laugh with. Okay, cool. But that's more of an isolated type thing, y'all. If we're going to group everyone together, we already know that Latinos are about them. Next to them, Latinos are going to side with the Caucasians, at least the white-looking Latinos. The darker Latinos that look like us, well, they experience the very same things that we go through right here in America. But they have a hard-working culture that actually looks out for them and pulls them up by their bootstraps. But make no mistake about it, the dark-skinned Latinos, they go through the same thing we go through as far as the racism, the prejudice, the profiling, being oppressed. They go through the same thing. They go through the same thing. It's global. It's all across the country. If your skin is dark, racism finds a way to park right there. Right there.
So tell them what to tell you. Now you're outnumbered. Your vote is diminished. Okay? You don't have the same vote. You don't have the same buying power. Literally every metric has fallen drastically. And in the meantime, between time, you're not even focused on that. You have people, especially on the internet, focus more on going back and forth with Africans. Oh, you a Tether. Oh, you a Kata. Oh, you not black man. You not. I'm like,
we are African, and we happen to be in America. We're not American. We are people who formerly were Africans who were kidnapped and brought to America.
And that's a lot.
Fam, you're missing it. You're missing it. We see this even here in LA. I've said this about, the Latina woman, the city councilwoman, who was like, F that guy, he's with the blacks. If you think she was the only person who thinks like that, You're mistaken. We see even recently, who is it that's running up against Greg Abbott? I think it's a Latino woman who's running up against Greg Abbott. Okay? If you look at that, it just is what it is. They have the numbers, but not only do they have the numbers, they are organized. We see with Jasmine Crockett.
But they wouldn't have the numbers if it wasn't for Joe Biden leaving the border open almost 4 years and letting nothing but fair-skinned, light-skinned, undocumented immigrants come over here to help their numbers in white supremacy. So now what happens is, not only do a lot of these undocumented immigrants identify as white and they help Caucasians with their policies, but they also group themselves together as being Latinos and they look out for them. So it leaves black people where? Unequivocally standing alone as always. As always.
Campaign, it wasn't very organized. It is what it is. This is a problem that has existed since the 60s, probably even before then. And now we're in a position where we're suffering from it because that bad behavior pattern, as Dr. Claude Anderson would say, hasn't been addressed. So while everyone else was actually building, was organizing, was mobilizing, what are y'all doing? Y'all talking about more reparations, but then talking about, I'm gonna sit on the couch. Y'all talking about, cut the check, but then don't know who your congressman is. And in the meantime, between time, y'all confusing progress for movement. You got Mopo still arguing about delineation. Oh, I'm gonna delineate, Delineate from what? To what? To have what? Nothing. Damn. Dr. Claude Anderson said this a while ago. It's a race. It's a race of the races. So when you look at Latinos, I mean, we saw in the last election, why are you even asking this? Trump got a significant amount of the Latino vote and the white vote. Why are you even asking this?
And this is why I think Latinos can't be too smart. Trump did get a significant vote from the Latino community and then turn right around and start deporting the very people that helped get him in office. But when it's time to elect someone black and it's time for the Latinos to get behind someone black who also advocated for them, nothing. No one turns up. No one turns out. No one casts a vote. No one has a thought. Now, Trump ran his campaign on, immigration, ICE, removing all illegal, undocumented immigrants. And these immigrants, these undocumented immigrants and their families still went out here and voted for Trump, although Trump told him what course he was going to take, what direction he was going to take. But when it comes to advocating for someone black who's standing for you because we share similar struggles, well, they leave the black by the wayside, then they want to cry about ICE. This is why black people are sitting on their sofas and not giving a darn about what's going on with ICE and the Latino community. All right, this is exactly why, because these guys have put themselves above everyone and they do think that they are better. They think that they are better. So we've got to wait for, the YT government to put these guys in their place as well. When they feel the sting, that they'll realize where they belong. But by then, it will be far too late.
I don't know what to tell you. That we have been used historically to our detriment. That's the simplest way to form this entire video. We have been used historically to our detriment, okay, to help everyone else in power. When people talk about, we the foundation over the country. The foundation is at the bottom, fam.
Ironic.
Everyone builds on top of the foundation. I don't think
Facts.
you understand what you're saying.
Facts.
You're at the bottom of the totem pole and you're bragging about it. Why would anyone give anyone a group of people who have no power, who can't mobilize, who can't organize, why would they listen to any of their demands or grievances? No.
You have a question or a comment that you want to address, send it through Super Chat. Send it through Super Chat. I'm done having these dry lives, y'all. I'm done leaving these lives entertaining everybody and not making what I need to get by. I'm monetized. This is my job. I'm not answering anything if you do not send a Super Chat, a gift, or a cash out.
They are going to be exploited to everyone else's benefit. And that's exactly what has happened. People like, Kyle's are delusional. They are the problem. with that mindset, because no one else ever thought, oh, I'm going to depend on black people. No other group has thought that when it comes to their empowerment, aside from maybe exploitation. You mofos is
Facts.
going into combat thinking that this is your blood brother or something. No, a coalition is temporary. And the goals of these coalitions have never been for the empowerment of black people. That hasn't been the case from my understanding. If I'm wrong, let me know. By all means, tell me. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you believe, look, you don't know what you're talking about, okay? You don't know what you're talking about, all right? I may not agree with the Black and Brown Coalition, but we strong. We gonna make it. We gonna survive, okay? We gonna get through this. Or if you believe, sure, brother. I don't know.
All right. My next line of business, I was waiting for some moderators to come through, but I can do the moderating myself. My next line of business is anyone who follows me knows exactly how I feel about, I'm going to say, the culture, the lineage of evil.
We back. Welcome back
You know what I
to
mean?
the culture.
I'm tired of being demonetized, so I got to encrypt the way I speak. But y'all know exactly who and what I'm talking about when I say the lineage of evil and their culture. All right. Anyone who follows me knows that there's always a white T male who enters the chat pushing homosexuality. It's always the homosexual jokes, and they laugh at it. They act like it's normal. You know, at the end of the day, somehow they still feel like a heterosexual man. And it leaves me wondering, how could a heterosexual male, you know what I'm saying, even bother to iterate those words and still feel like he's heterosexual at the end of the day? And I always wondered why this followed their culture, y'all. I always wonder why it's always the lineage of evil, the YT males. And we know about the 2977. We know about the Epstein files. We can see I can't say the colorization. We can see the colorness in those files. You know what I'm saying? The colorless files of the Epstein files. They're all transparent people. They don't look like me. They're majority non-black. There are some who look like me, and they need to, they need to be punished as well. But a majority of these people who commit these acts in the country, all these sexual offenses, all right, are non-blacks. They're either YTs or they're so-called Native Americans, all right? So it's time to bring this up. It's time to bring this up. I love when the lineage of evil, that community tries to defer, and they always bring up Diddy, y'all. You don't even know why Diddy is really locked up. R. Kelly would have been the best thing for you to say, but you're just trying to reflect. You're trying to reflect. All right, here we go, y'all. Here we go. This explains a lot. Neferkari Dessalines, the culture. I always wondered, y'all, we're about to find out today why homosexuality seems to plague these guys and why it doesn't bother their manhood, okay? We're about to find out, and it should bother their manhood because it bothers the rest of America. That is the reason that we are still searching for children. It's the reason that we have the Epstein survivors right now still looking for justice. It's the very reason that a lot of these people should be locked away under their own mass incarceration bill. CC Motion, what's good? What's good? Kiki, what's good? All right, here we go, y'all.
Yeah, we back. Welcome back to the culture, the hottest broadcast in the game. Go to my playlist section. We have already released over 60 episodes, and we have an entire playlist dedicated to this series. In this series, we shine a light on who's really committing some of the most heinous crimes here in the United States and around the world. This project was inspired by years of me listening to certain conservative voices in the media focus on so-called crime in the black community as if crime was unique to us. So that pushed me to dig deeper into the true crime data, the headlines and the statistics to see.
I guarantee it's going to happen. While I'm in the midst of this right here, there's going to be a YT male coming here with the homosexualness. Watch. Watch.
where the true criminality is actually coming from. Now, everything I'm discussing is based on publicly reported cases and verified information. This content is for educational and commentary purposes only. Now, before we get started, you already know, brand new music video, 2 a.m. in Venezuela, brand new album, Black Winter, pin comment at the top. Check it out. Now, let's get into today's episode, man. Now,
I appreciate that, Janae. I appreciate that, Janae Sally. Thank you.
before we get started, I want to take a look at this recent lawsuit that came down in the past week in California. This young brother right here actually filed a lawsuit against his former coach, his former high school, and another teammate. Now, if you've been watching the culture from day one, you know that I made several references to the fact that, you know, as somebody like myself who grew up playing sports, my sport of choice was soccer, or as some people might call it, football, you know, around the world. Sometimes in previous episodes of the culture, I would make references to the strange locker room behavior that would take place, unfortunately, you know, when a certain demographic would be in the locker room. You know, everybody else would be minding their business. Everybody else would just be, you know, focusing on the game, or maybe the game just finished and now you're getting ready to go back home. But it would just be that one demographic, right? Always doing some strange activity in the locker room, right? Always that one demographic. Remember back in high school, always doing strange activities, saying strange things in the classroom. It was only them too, nobody else. It was only them, right? And I even had some brothers in the comment section who also, you know, testified and gave me confirmation and said, yeah, brother, I used to play football. Yeah, brother, I used to play basketball. And them guys was always on some strange stuff, always on some weird stuff. Like, why would they like that, right? What's wrong with their culture, right? Now, of course, you know, over the past few months, as we've been studying the culture, I began to grow a deeper understanding as to why they operate the way they do, right? When you examine the news stories and the crimes taking place inside the community, you understand why the young teenage boys are so strange in the locker room, right? So anyway, so today's case, we have this brother right here. He filed a lawsuit, like I said, against his former teammate, his former coach in his school. And take a look at this headline. A star water polo player breaks his silence after bombshell claims of an underwater sex attack by a teammate. Now, once I seen the brother, I didn't even have to see who the perpetrator was. I already knew it could only be one demographic. Only one demographic is engaging in sex attacks against their teammates on the sports team. Only them, only that demographic. When it came to the black athletes, we weren't doing that. We wasn't engaging in weird activities with our teammates, you know, walking up on our teammates trying to grab their butt, making gay jokes, you know, talking about, you know, their private parts. Dudes was strange, weird dudes, man. Strange culture, bro. So when I seen the headline, I already knew what it was. I already knew what time it was. So once I seen the suspect, I was like, of course, who else could it be? What other culture could it be? What demographic is always doing some weird homoerotic stuff with their sports teammates in the locker room? It could only be them, right? So this guy, you know, he's filing a lawsuit because, you know, the strange activities was just too much to handle, right? Anyway, let's get into this story. A lawsuit filed in Los Angeles County Superior Court alleges that a disturbing locker room culture inside an elite Los Angeles private school sports program allowed months of harassment and invasive behavior between teammates, while both the accused and the alleged victim were both minors at the time, right? So like I say, man, it starts young. Both of these guys were minors at the time. So you got to ask yourself, where do they learn this stuff? It got to be culture, bro, because I'm in New York and I can testify of seeing some strange stuff take place in the locker room, on the sports bus, in the classroom back in high school. These guys are strange. This took place in California, the other side of the country, right? And I even had brothers in the comment section, like I said, come and testify of their own experiences of what they witnessed back in high school during their sports days. So if we have all these different testimonies in different parts of the country, it got to be culture. It got to be culture, man. Anyway, let's continue. The case centers on Harvard Westlake High School, where a former student and water polo player, Aiden Romaine, who's now 18 years old, says that he endured repeated harassment from a teammate named Luca Vanderwood between August 2022 to February 2024. According to the complaint, the environment inside the program had become deeply dysfunctional, with degrading racial taunts, physical intimidation, and bizarre locker room behavior being treated as normal parts of team culture. Like I said, it's culture for them. It's normal for them. Being a weird homoerotic weirdo, doing gay stuff to other men. It's culture. Like, it's just culture to them. It's just what we do, right? Strange individuals, strange demographic, strange community. Let's continue. The victim says that the situation began when he was just 14 years old and the only freshman invited to practice with the varsity team.
Now let's talk about it, because This is a very strange culture. This is a very strange culture. All right. I remember playing football in high school, running track, cross country, and all of this stuff. And they would do the most homosexual things in the locker room. And the last thing you wanted to do was actually shower in the locker room after football practice because of these guys. Because of these guys. You know, they just played sexual erotic games, if I could put it that way and still be monetized. They would squeeze your backside. They would walk up to you and twist your, you know, they would actually walk up to you and try to your, you know, your man parts. You know what I'm saying? Your man meat. And they would laugh it off like it was nothing. Man, how are you laughing this off? Because I'm ready to actually, like, wail on you, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't play that in our culture. We don't play that. We don't play that. And a lot of the homosexual males you see in the black community, they weren't inspired by black men. They were inspired and influenced by black mothers, you know, by black mothers. They were inspired by black mothers. Black women embraced the homosexual community. Black women would tell you and complain all the time, there's no good men, there's a shortage of men, this, that, and the third, but about 3 or 4 men in their phones under their contacts are all homosexual men that they hang out with and do girly things with, but yet they're complaining. So this isn't pushed by the black men. The black men don't agree with it. We don't rock that way. You know what I'm saying? And we don't want to see our sons that way. We don't need no Ernie Johnsons. We don't need no Jaden Smiths. We don't need no Lil Nas X's. We don't need none of that. No Tyler the Creators. We don't need that. We don't push that. We don't validate that. All right. But the women, however, do. And a lot of single mothers are a testament and a reflection to what I'm saying right now, because they see nothing wrong with it. They're quick to tell their son, well, live your life, live your truths. Mommy loves you, whatever. When you need to take this time to be of a spiritual and a more significant influence to your children to save the culture. To save the culture. Homosexuality was introduced through the YT community, the lineage of evil, through Europeans. It's a Eurocentric behavior. So this is true. This lineage have always followed these people, and they act as if nothing's wrong with it, y'all. Nothing's wrong with it. I don't know about you, but if you are downloading indecent pictures of children, if you are touching children in an indecent fashion, if you are doing egregious, nefarious sexual acts on your animals, that is a problem. That is a problem. You know what I'm saying? That is a problem, and they're seeing nothing wrong with it. That's why you have the EpiPen files. That's why you have EpiPen Island. That's why there was Pizzagate. That's why you have the Epstein survivors. That's why you have people busted every day for this type of stuff. In my phone, I follow these stories every day. There was just 11 more people busted 2 days ago in Florida, and all of them are Europeans. All of them are Europeans. In this story right here, you're going to hear how he recovered so many. He knew he was being watched, and he was still downloading this stuff. It's almost like an addiction to these people. It's almost like an addiction, not knowing that they're pissing everyone else off. You know, not knowing that this is a bigger problem in the country than racism. Tea is boiling over. My honey lemon tea was boiling over, y'all. I'm trying to beat this thing, man. You know what I'm saying? This is my 3rd day. Normally I beat it by the 3rd day, so I should be feeling all right by tomorrow. But no, this has always followed their culture, and it's beginning to become a problem, y'all. It's beginning to become a problem. I say box all of them up, put them in a metal container, and send them on the front lines over there in Iran. That's what I'm doing right now. Send them to the front lines of Iran. You know, don't even give them any weapons. We don't want them to come back. We don't even want them to live. We have to rid the world of this problem so that our children are safe. So that our children are safe. Real talk, y'all.
Instead of a supportive environment, the lawsuit claims that he was immediately subjected to humiliating conduct from the older teammates. The complaint alleges that the suspect, Mr. Vanderwood, and another player repeatedly used racial slurs against him nearly every day for months and made comments about his skin color, sometimes joking that he would be the team's secret weapon during night games because opponents would not be able to see him inside the water. The lawsuit also describes incidents in which the teammates would make light of slavery and even try to whip him with the...
Hold on. Pause. Tasha. Sister, you beautiful.
in the weight room while shouting commands referencing forced labor. According to the filing, these actions created an atmosphere where harassment and humiliation became a routine part of daily life on the team. Now, it seems that this brother was a very talented athlete. So he was a freshman being invited to play with the varsity team. So obviously he was very talented, you know, one of the best young prospects at the school, right? And it seems that he's probably heavily outnumbered because I never went through none of that. I never went through no racial disrespect because I was not outnumbered. I had my boys with me. I had my guys with me. So the school that I went to, we had a decent black population. So I never experienced any racial disrespect. Now, I did witness a lot of strange activity in the locker room. Like I said, these guys are very strange, man, very weird. But when it came to racial disrespect, I never had no experience with that. But maybe this brother, he was heavily outnumbered probably. I have to check the demographics of the school. But anyway, let's continue. Beyond the racial harassment, the lawsuit claims that the locker room and the pool environment involved invasive and disturbing conduct that crossed serious boundaries. The victim alleges that the suspect repeatedly approached him from behind and engaged in inappropriate physical behavior, including trying to penetrate him.
That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
Time out. So like I said, this guy, he's a freshman. He's like a 13-year-old, 14-year-old. He's with the varsity team. So this the juniors, this the seniors, things like that. And what they doing? They trying to put their finger up his butt. Like I'm telling you, these guys are weird, man. The only demographic that does this, and it's just regular to them. It's just normal. It's like, it's funny to them.
They don't care. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? They actually don't care. And I don't understand how this is normal to them. How don't you feel some type of way? How don't you feel some type of way? Good morning, Unusual. Grand rising to you. How don't you feel some type of way? You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Unusual. Unusual coming here going to work. Thank you, Unusual. How is this normal to these demographic of people? How? How is this not mental health? How are these people still running around here free? They like to profile everyone else and say that everyone else deserves to be locked away for life and this, that, and the third. But why are these people still running around here free and afflicting and opposing little children, afflicting and opposing everyone else? Why are you pushing your agenda? How is this going to repopulate the world? How? What message does this send to regular children and to traditional parents who are trying to raise traditional men and women? We don't see the discrepancy here. And it's like we're adopting this without discretion. We're looking at this behavior without discretion because everyone's been taught to turn the other cheek and just let people do them. You know what I'm saying? But it's not. That's not the norm. That's not the norm. If you have a question or a comment, send it with some color behind it. Send it by super chat. It will be read and addressed. Other than that, you're just going to fade away in the comments. We're not going to do this every day.
That's the way, that's their sense of humor, right? Like, I'm going to put my finger, like, you know, that's what they do. To them, that's funny to them. That's funny, right? To them, that's a form of comedy, right? It's
salute to your sister, Tasha. You beautiful, sister. I just actually just looked at your profile picture. You are gorgeous.
Culture, right? To them, it's just sports culture. That's what they laugh about when they having drinks. Remember back in high school and we stuck our finger up his butt? Like, to them, that's funny. That's comedy. That's culture to them. It's just normal. It's not strange. They laugh.
And what's funny about it? What is funny about that, y'all? What is funny about that? Isn't that like some type of sexual assault, or, you know what I'm saying, like something that's against the law. It's against the law. I told you a lot of these people should be wearing ankle monitors. We should know where they are at all times. They should not be allowed in grocery stores. They should not be allowed in churches. They should not be around schools, parks, no nothing. No nothing. They should be locked away. They should be confined. Every time they get close to a child, that ankle monitor should shock the hell out of them. You know what I mean? It should shock the hell out of them. This is normal behavior to them, but it's sick. It's diabolical. It's diabolical. But to a lineage of evil, who's used to being a lineage of evil, this is complete normalcy. This is complete normalcy. It comes along with them, just like the, you know, not having this, y'all. You know, as I'm trying to watch how I talk.
About it. It's just the funniest thing in the world. Anyway, telling you, get in the comment section, brothers. Testify how weird these guys be in the locker room. Drop your testimony in the comment section how strange these guys was in the locker room back in the day, back in high school, back in the sports days. Who was the...
And the only reason they have not come in here and done it yet is because I'm addressing it right now. And they don't want to be called out on it. But there's someone itching right now to drop one of those homosexual jokes or comments or something, you know what I'm saying, one of those slurs in the chat right now. There's someone of their lineage right now itching to do it. And the only reason they're not doing it is because I'm addressing it right now. And they don't want to stand out. They don't want to stand out. When we see these type of people, y'all, we actually need to start calling law enforcement or something and having these people investigated. Because as far as we know, yeah, they're cracking jokes right here, but they could have a child locked in their basement at home. You know what I mean? So this is not socially acceptable.
Weirdest demographic walking the earth, right? And of course, when we examine all the crimes taking place in their community against the minors, against the children, we understand why they come into the world strange and off balance and unable to integrate into society and be normal and just be well adjusted. Why are you trying to stick your finger up somebody's butt? Like, bro, you guys are strange characters, man. Let's continue. The victim alleges that the suspect approached her from behind and engaged in inappropriate physical behavior, including digital penetration, sometimes underwater inside the pool, and other times on school grounds. So this guy tried multiple times to put his finger up his butt. The complaint states that this behavior happened multiple times over several months and that it occurred in front of the other teammates, reinforcing...
I can't even ask who does that because we know who does that. We're addressing it right now. I'm talking about every day I start a live, I've got to deal with those demographic of people. And when I tell you it's tiring, if I could line them up and just stone them, I will. Because I am tired of the ignorance. I'm tired of the affliction. All right? I'm tired of being offended that way. I love me some women. I love me some women. Now, if you're a homosexual male, live your reality. And thank you for leaving all these beautiful women to us heterosexual males. You understand what I'm saying? So there's a benefit to you being homosexual because we get more of the women. We get more opportunity, more chances. There's a variety. So thank you for leaving these beautiful, gorgeous women to us heterosexual males. But at the same time, Mr. Homosexual, leave us heterosexuals the heck alone. Leave us the heck alone. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. And again, I'm going to reiterate, in our community, it's the black women that's doing it. At one point, the church wouldn't even accept that behavior. If the church brought you in and that were your way of life, the church used to try to pray it out of you. Now the church tell you, come as you are. It's become socially accepted. So where are we on the scale of a moral compass? Where are we? Where are we? Have we just dropped in morals? Have we completely thrown ethics aside and just adopted and adapted the ways of the European? Their holidays, their religions, their homosexual behaviors, the things they do to children. Huh? Is that where we are? Is that where we are? I'm going to tell you again, if you have a question or a comment that you want read, send it through Super Chat. Otherwise, it's just going to sit there and fade in the comment box. That's why I'm not addressing any of you, less more reading anything that you're writing. If you're a moderator and you show up in blue, yes, I will read it. If you're not a moderator, more than likely you're not subscribed to the channel, know nothing. I make my money. Send it through Super Chat. We can have an awesome discussion. Send it through Cash App. We can have an awesome discussion. You know, if you're not throwing money, don't throw any questions.
What the victim described as a culture where degrading conduct was laughed off or ignored, like it was just normal to them. See, the victim, he's a young black man. He's a young black boy. In our culture, we don't go around trying to stick our fingers up random butts, right? We don't do that. So to him, it's strange. Why they doing this? But to them, it's normal. It's culture. It's funny. Telling you, man, the strangest demographic, you know, we got to talk about this, man. And I'm so glad we have this broadcast of culture so we can really do a deep dive. Like, everybody wants to talk about the black community. Everybody wants to talk about the black man, but nobody wants to talk about this demographic. Let's have some real talk about this demographic, man. Nobody wants to ask the question, why do they do this, right? How come nobody ever tried to, interrogate that? Why are you guys like this? How come we can find testimony from people who played sports?
This is bad. We think they like WAR. We think they love and embrace racism. We think they love assuming other people's identities and touching things that don't belong to them and stealing people's land and exploiting people's melanin to get their own little labor done. Yeah, we look at them like that and we interrogate them about all of that, but we never interrogate them about this. And this falls all the way from the Roman Catholic Church, y'all. The Pope, the Vaticans, the Cardinals, everything. Everything. I have story after story of police, firefighters, EMS, judges, lawmakers, all white, y'all, all white, caught up in this. And I don't know what it is about y'all taking indecent pictures of children, but that seems to be the number one thing. The child seems to be the number one thing that you guys embrace the most, and no one calls them out on it. But if we start to address it and call them out on it, then we'll start to keep a lot more children safe, ladies and gentlemen. And we keep a lot more adults safe as well. And we keep a lot more children innocent. Innocent, where the boys are comfortable growing up to be men instead of girls. And the girls are comfortable growing up to be women instead of men. This is the whole gender thing. Y'all know who started all the gender stuff. It was them. It was them. We wonder why their birth rates are decreasing, because they see how many genders when there's only two. So to them, a dog is a gender, a butterfly is a gender, a raccoon is a gender, a possum is a gender, a deer is a gender, a bobcat is a gender, a chihuahua is a gender to these people. A mosquito is a gender. If they can penetrate a mosquito, they will. They will. They hold nothing back. They have no limit. It's like Master P. They have no limit. No limit. And no morals.
All over the country, and they can testify how strange y'all be behind closed doors in the locker room on the sports bus on the sports teams. How come from California to New York to Washington to Detroit, everybody knows how strange y'all be? Strange characters, man. Strange characters, boy. Anyway, let's continue. The lawsuit further claims that concerns about the team's culture were brought to the school officials well before the situation exploded in the public. The victim's mother reportedly met with the head coach back in March 2023 to warn that her son was being targeted and did not feel safe. According to the complaint, the coach appeared sympathetic and promised to watch out for the student, but the lawsuit alleges that the same misconduct continued. The filing also claims that when the victim and another student later reported inappropriate conduct by the suspect to school administrators, the school failed to immediately contact law enforcement or child protection authorities in order to investigate the case. The situation eventually exploded even further. In February 2024, the victim says that he was attacked in the campus shower. Like I said, man, these guys be trying to do gay shit in the shower. Yo, bro, y'all the weirdest, y'all weirdos, bro. Y'all weirdos, man. Straight up weird ass dudes, man. You trying to take a shower, minding your business. Here come these guys trying to bother you in the shower, right? You don't even got no damn clothes on. Why you bothering me, bro? Strange, bro. And to them, it's just normal, right? I'm going to go bother this guy. He got his balls out. I'm going to go bother him in the shower. And they think that's funny. They think that's cool. They think that's normal, right? Anyway, let's continue. Jesus Christ, man. The suspect said he was attacked in the campus shower by another teammate who grabbed him and struck him repeatedly. The lawsuit claims that after the shower incident, the victim was punished by being demoted and suspended from games rather than protected. So like I said, because it's their culture, right? Because it's their culture, they're going to punish you for not going along with the culture, right? Because you don't want to accept and, basically conform to the culture. Instead of protecting you as the young, freshman playing on the varsity team, they're going to ostracize you because you don't want to allow them to stick things up your butt or play with you in the shower. Strange culture, bro. Strange individuals. The mother went to the school. Father complained with the coach. The coach didn't do nothing because...
And I tell y'all all the time that if these people, if there was an innocent child who was drowning, right, and there was a PDF file type of guy right next to them in the water also drowning, people of the YT community, people of the Lineage of Evil, yeah, they're going to save a life. In their mind, when they jump into that water, they're going to let that child drown. But they're going to save that PDF. They're going to save that PDF. You know what I'm saying? They're going to save that PDF.
To them, it's just their culture. It's just normal behavior in the locker room, right? We're all homoerotic, right? It's just what we do. We have a homoerotic culture, right? We love flirting with other men in the culture, right? It's not even just the minors. It's other men too, right? The minors, the other men. These guys don't like women. The women are like secondary. The women are just like a means to an end to have a family and have children. But, it's really the mind.
They really have no use for a woman. And they wonder why their women are transitioning to our community. They wonder why their women love the BBC. Because they understand that their men love children. They understand that their men are lovers of men, not women. Not women. Disgusting, but we have to admit it. We have to admit it. This follows the culture. And again, this is the first day I've gone live and I have not had to deal with one of those people, with one of those demographic of individuals. And you know why? It's because I'm addressing it right now. If I wasn't addressing it, it'd be all through here along with racism. But the only reason you're not seeing it right now, ladies and gentlemen, is because it's being addressed and they don't want to stand out. They don't want to stand out. They know it's true. They're itching to do it right now. They're itching to do it right now. They sitting there turning red with a Beavis and Butthead face. They're fighting the urge, y'all. They're fighting the urge. They want to do it bad. They want to do it bad. But this is the reason that they're not. Because I'm addressing it right now. And I'm going to address it every single day. Every single day. Because it's got to stop. You're influencing heterosexual young males to be that way. What do you get out of that? Have you ever been with a woman? You know what I mean? It leads me to ask these people, have you ever experienced a woman? Do you know how yum yum really feels? Have you ever had any yum yum? Because for you to choose to be this way over what a woman is born with, there is something wrong. Something wrong. We're quick to say God don't make any mistakes. Well, that must not be a true God because these people are making mistakes. Mistaken identities, mistaken other sexes of people for, y'all know where I'm going with this. Y'all know where I'm going. And this runs prominent in their culture, just like racism and just like telling lies and changing history and identity theft and everything else. The Eraser Act, you name it. This is the Lineage of Evil, ladies and gentlemen.
And other men, that's what they into for real. Anyway, let's continue. Weeks later, around February 2024, the suspect was arrested on campus by Los Angeles police in connection with allegations of misconduct involving a minor. Court records referenced in reporting on the case state that The suspect admitted in Los Angeles County Juvenile Court to sexual penetration with a foreign object against a minor as part of a plea agreement back in November 2024. The court issued probation conditions involving a no-contact order with the victim. Despite the legal case, the lawsuit alleges that the school allowed the suspect to transfer to another high school and continue playing the sports, where he went on to win a championship and compete at a high level in youth national team programs. So like I said, this guy, no punishment, no repercussions. He was allowed to continue playing the sport because to them it's just culture. They're not going to punish him for engaging in his natural culture, sticking things up somebody's rectum, attacking them in the shower, being racially insensitive. Like, it's just culture being racist and homosexual. Let's continue. The victim says that the situation forced him to leave the school entirely and relocate overseas to continue his training in a safer environment. The lawsuit is seeking damages and court-ordered changes aimed at preventing similar activity from occurring in the future. So like I said, I hope the brother gets all his money, right? I hope he gets everything he's asking for. And it's a conversation to be had, right? It's a conversation to be had. And I really want to know why. How come they're all like this? Like, how come when it comes to sports, like, not even just sports, right? Like even outside of sports, because even in the classroom, these guys would just make weird, strange comments and remarks. I remember back in high school, they would try to make these weird jokes. To them, it would be the funniest thing in the world. But of course, to us, it would be like, bro, why are you saying that? Why are you doing that? It's like 9 a.m. Why is that even on your mind? Bro, get away from me. Freaking strange. But to them, it's just totally normal. It's totally hilarious, right? It's just totally nothing wrong with it, right? But anyway, it's funny because we even had comedians make jokes about it. For example, Ari Spears, I think that's how you say his name, Ari Spears or something like that, and Dave Chappelle. They've spoken about this exact same subject before. Run that clip. I'll be right back.
Because white boys play gay games with each other all the time. Tanner, Trevor, Ethan Sleep, put your balls on his nose and take a picture. And the audience falls out. Why? It's true. I've seen more white dudes. You can look at MTV's ridiculousness. And there is clip after clip of white boys putting their dick on their man's face, farting in their face with powder coming out their ass, all kinds of semi-gay shit. And black guys don't swim in those waters. We just don't. But what I'm telling you, as far as straight men go, black men don't play them games. Dave even had a joke about it on his Showtime special, For What It's Worth. He goes, yeah, you can't fall asleep around your white friends because they'll do shit like, hey, so-and-so sleep. Let's put a carrot in his ass.
Time white dudes pass out around each other, they always do some borderline gay shit when the guy's asleep.
Frank fell asleep, so he stuck a carrot in his ass and put shaving cream on his balls.
Why, motherfucker? Why'd you do that to a friend of yours? He trusted you enough to sleep around you, gonna put a carrot in his ass? Is that nice? I tell you right now, if I put a carrot in a black dude's ass, that nigga will kill you when he wakes up for some shit like that. That is an automatic death sentence on the street. It's a rap for you. I'm gonna kill that motherfucker. I thought y'all was friends, baby. What happened? I fell asleep at his house, right? We was drinking, and I fell asleep at his house, and while I was sleeping, right? I'm just gonna kill that motherfucker, all right? That's all you need to know. Fuck carrots.
Like I say, man, it's just strange, but, as we examine the culture and we study the culture, it begins to make more sense, and we connect the dots when we look at, which crimes they dominate in their community, which crimes take place at such a high level in their community, and then you wonder why the children come out, kind of a little, off balance, not really able to, function normally, being strange out in public, doing things that to them it seems normal, maybe in their house, but outside in the regular world amongst those of us who don't really engage in those cultural activities, it's very strange. We don't understand it. We don't do stuff like that. It's not funny to us. It's not our flavor of comedy, and black men, we are very comedic. I think black men are some of the most, charismatic, some of the funniest group of men, the best comedians, black men comedians, so when it comes to comedy, black men know a lot about comedy, and we're such good comedians, right? Black men are just wholesome, comedic, charismatic individuals that we don't need to do those type of activities to be funny, right? We don't need to, assault you or do sexual activity to be funny. We don't need to put nothing up your butt to be funny. We don't need to, attack you in the shower to be funny. We could just be naturally funny just off the gift of gab, our natural intelligence and charisma. can just make anybody laugh. We're naturally funny. These guys have a strange flavor of comedy where they have to like add in sexual harassment into the comedy. They have to add in homosexuality into the comedy. They have to add in all type of, extracurricular activities into the comedy for it to be funny. And for us, we don't understand that. We don't get that. We have natural, wholesome comedy. They have sexual, homosexual comedy. Anyway, let's get into today's episode. Let's get into the intro and let's go, man.
If you didn't know already, white men make up 29% of the U.S. population, but are accounted for over 77% of the people caught with child, you know what.
By far, it is being done by middle-aged Caucasian men.
This isn't just happening around the world. It's happening in every neighborhood right here in America.
First story, March 4th. Today, a repeat drunk driver has been sentenced for murder. Let's get into this one. A man in California has been sentenced to 19 years to life in prison after a high-speed crash in California killed 33-year-old victim Jesse Espino. Prosecutors say that 36-year-old suspect Shane Shahan drove through a red light at over 80 miles per hour at the intersection of First Street and McKinley Avenue, slamming into a vehicle that was carrying 2 passengers. The victim suffered severe injuries and died at the hospital. The jury was shown surveillance video during the trial that captured the moment that the suspect Chevrolet Colorado truck sped through the intersection, ran through the red light, and crashed into the victim's vehicle. The footage also showed that the suspect looked back at the crash and then ran away from the scene and never rendered any assistance to the victims or even called the authorities for medical assistance. The police testified that the suspect was located in a nearby neighborhood shortly after the crash. When officers confronted him, he said that, "Sorry, I got scared. I didn't know what to do." One officer told the court that he could smell alcohol on the suspect, noting that he was sweating heavily and speaking erratically at the time of the arrest. Investigators determined that the suspect was driving on a suspended license and had both alcohol and marijuana in his system. Prosecutors also revealed that he had a long history of alcohol-related driving offenses. Like I said, man, this demographic, we already know which demographic, the #1 abusers of alcohol and drugs in the country. Let's continue. His record includes 2 prior DUI convictions from 2016 and 2017, and he was still on probation for a previous DUI conviction when the fatal crash had occurred. The collision had flipped the suspect's truck, but he was able to crawl out and run away from the area, leaving the victim critically injured at the scene. During the sentencing, the judge pointed out that the suspect never attempted to call 911, even though he had a cell phone in his pocket. The suspect was ultimately convicted of the crime and the hit and run resulting in death and driving on a suspended license. The jury took less than an hour to reach a guilty verdict, and they imposed the maximum sentence allowed under the law. Now, next story. March 4th, today, an employee at the United States Department of Justice has been charged for illegal images and videos involving minors. Like I say, man, the pillars of their community. But now we have attorneys at the United States Department of Justice working for the government down in Washington, and on their spare time, they're watching the illegal images and videos involving minors. Welcome to the culture. Welcome to the goddamn culture. Let's continue. And you wonder why. You wonder why there is no action being taken in regards to the Epstein files. Because if the employees at the United States Department of Justice are also engaged in these cultural activities, you wonder why there is no accountability being taken. When
There's no accountability being taken because this is who they are. This is who they are. This comes along with them being them. This comes along with their culture. It's almost embedded into their DNA. FMG, you know, every day we have to deal with those type of comments on here. So today, for the first time ever since I'm addressing it, guess what I haven't had to deal with today? At least not yet. Let me knock on some wood. You know what I'm saying? At least not yet. But normally, every day, this is how they come in. And they think it's normal. And they think it's funny, y'all. They think it's so hilarious. We make people laugh naturally. We don't have to fondle you, sexually harass you. We don't have to do any of that stuff to get a laugh out of you. Like he said, we do it on intelligence. It's natural for us. There's so many ways to get a laugh or a chuckle or reaction out of someone rather than violating their sexuality. But these people don't understand that. They don't understand that. I'm tired of being demonetized, so I'm trying to really clean up how I talk, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
have the attorneys at the United States Department of Justice engaged in illegal activity involving minors. Let's continue. Welcome to the goddamn culture, man. A veteran employee of the United States Department of Justice has been arrested in Maryland. Man, it's crazy. Today, the
United States Department of Justice, y'all. The DOJ. How are you in the DOJ, the Department of Justice, doing this? You should be afraid. If you were ever going to be a hypocrite, when you go to work, you better look normal. You work for the Department of Justice. Who can uncover this and throw you who can throw you under the jail quicker than the Department of Justice? Who can expose you? Who has the ability to investigate someone to the standards of the Department of Justice? You work for the Department of Justice. And they are hiring these people in the government, y'all. Come on, man. And y'all wonder why there's no action on the Epstein files? They were probably hired inside of the government for that particular reason. For that particular reason. I appreciate you, FMG. I thank you, brother. I thank you, brother. Thank you for the cash out. It's almost like, you know how when you go to the hospital or you register for something, you have to check your age, you have to check your gender, you have to check your sexuality. I believe they have a box in the government specifically for these lineage of people, these demographic of people. Are you such and such? And if you're not, then you don't get hired. But if you are, welcome aboard and we'll point you to the children's bus stops. It sounds nasty as hell, but it is true. It is true. And they always say, if you see something, say something. I'm tired of seeing it. So yes, I'm saying something. I'm saying something. This is not normal. It should not be looked at as a sense of normalcy in this country and nowhere in this world. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to start calling these people out on their egregious acts, their nefarious acts, their homosexual tendencies, y'all. We have to, because it's borderline sexual harassment to us heterosexuals. And I'm not even going to say borderline. Hell, it is. You know what I'm saying? It is sexual harassment to heterosexuals and to children.
The attorney at the United States Department of Justice, just yesterday, we spoke about that individual who was part of the United States Air Force, kidnapped a minor across state lines, brought her back to the Air Force base where he got caught with the minor. Man, had the minor in the trunk of his car. Now today, the United States employees at the Department of Justice, man, crazy week for the community. It was like three officers, pastors, teachers, back to back mayors, man, attorneys, orthodontists, urologists, pediatricians at the Children's Hospital. Man, the past week has been absolutely unbelievable for the community. Let's continue. A longtime employee at the United States Department of Justice has been arrested in Maryland after federal investigators accused him of possession of illegal images and videos involving minors. Suspect Timothy Parsons, a legal staffer who worked at the U.S. Attorney's Office in Washington, D.C., is now facing federal criminal charges after the FBI conducted a search warrant at his residence. The FBI affidavit states that the suspect spoke with investigators during the search and acknowledged receiving a message containing illegal images and videos involving minors. According to the affidavit, the message included multiple videos and images depicting illegal activity. The suspect told the investigators that he had deleted the messages. However, the prosecutors say that the messages themselves contain responses from the suspect reacting to the material. According to the charging documents, the suspect responded to the illegal images and videos by saying that is so hot. Authorities say the case had surfaced when investigators were reviewing communications in an unrelated case and then uncovered the activity of this.
Let's get the likes up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, FMG. Let's get the likes up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get the likes up. Y'all know I have to start my day with my protein smoothie. And also got my honey lemon hot tea here. Fighting these sinuses, man. I think this pollen is getting to me, y'all. Every spring I go through this. Allergies are a mother. All right, allergies are a mother. Let's get those likes up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get those likes up, please. FMG, you notice that we have not seen those comments in here yet this morning, brother? And we know every morning they come consistently, back to back. We're dealing with at least 10, 20 people like this from the time I start these lives. But the only reason that it's not happening right now is because I'm addressing it. And you better believe out of the people that's in this room, at least 5 or 6 of them are those type of people. They're just not saying anything. They're just not saying anything. And that's why it's important to say something. See how they're leaving the room now? We just had one leave the room. See? That's why it's important to say something, to bring it up. Because when you speak about it and when you bring it up, you can defer that behavior, y'all. You can save somebody. You know what I'm saying? You can save somebody.
Suspect. When the FBI agents conducted the search warrant at the suspect's home, they state that he was alone in the residence. The agents collected several electronic devices believed to belong to him as part of the investigation. Currently, he is placed on administrative leave while the case proceeds. The federal investigation remains ongoing. Next story, March 2nd, the other day.
FMG, if I'm ever in your state, I'm definitely hitting you up, man, because I think you would be a fun brother to hang out with, man. You know what I'm saying? I could just see good times happening and good times rolling. You know what I mean? It just don't seem like it'd be a dull moment, brother. So if I'm ever in your area, you know what I mean? I'm definitely gonna hit you up, my man. I'm definitely gonna hit you up.
A man stabs his mother to death, along with 3 other women who tried to intervene. Man, like I say, man, in the culture, better than any Netflix series, any movie script from any Hollywood blockbuster movie. Man, the narratives and the stories and the plots that we discover in the culture, man, better than anything on TV, better than anything on the movies. Let's continue. Let's get into this one. A violent stabbing rampage in Washington state left 4 women dead before deputies shot and killed the attacker. The incident happened the morning of February 24th. According to the county sheriff's office, suspect 32-year-old Alexander Shablykin fatally stabbed his 52-year-old mother outside her home before attacking the neighbors in the neighborhood. Investigators said the situation began earlier in the morning when the suspect's mother had called 911 at approximately 8:41 a.m., reporting that her son was outside the home in violation of a domestic violence protection order she had obtained against him. Deputies learned
if we don't report these things, they'll never get reported. They'll never get reported. We know what mainstream media does. Mainstream media is quick to defer from actually incriminating their own. And I'm going to tell you something else I've noticed that they do. You notice when it's someone black, they'll put a mugshot picture up. But when it's someone white, you see a picture of them and they're graduating or their happiest moments. We learned this with Carmelo Anthony and the Metcalf guy, who I can't remember his first name. Austin Metcalf, something, I don't know. The Metcalf guy. You know, Carmelo had never been in trouble. Why not put Carmelo Anthony's high school picture there? You know, but no, they put his mugshot there. What did they do to Metcalf? Football uniforms, hunting gear. They humanized him and dehumanized Carmelo Anthony. Mainstream media always finds a way to dehumanize everyone except the people who look and resemble them. You know what I'm saying? Resemble them.
the order had been issued but had not yet been formally served. Less than an hour later, multiple 911 calls came in reporting that a man was stabbing people in the neighborhood. A deputy arrived at approximately 9:30 a.m. and encountered the suspect actively attacking random victims. The deputy opened fire, killing the suspect at the scene. By the time the violence was over, 4 women had been killed. Authorities identified the victims as Zoya, Joanne, Stephanie, and Louise.
I know you're a good brother, FMG. You know what I'm saying? I know you're a good brother, man. I know you are. And you entertaining as heck. You got a good spirit, good personality. I rock with you, man. I rock with you.
Investigators believe that the 3 other victims were neighbors who were trying to intervene on behalf of their friend. According to court records, the victim had repeatedly sought protection against her son in recent years. In filings last year in the court, she described threats and abuse and property damage. She wrote that he had pushed her during the confrontation and once told her that her grave has already been dug up. Man, like I said, man, no love for the elders in this community. Looking your own mother in the face and telling her that I've already dug up your grave. Man, could you imagine doing that in the black community? Wouldn't even dare do some shit like that. But in the white community, that's regular. You know, cursing out your mother, threatening your mother with death. You know, regular stuff in the white community, right? Just regular stuff.
Nah, you know no chopping block, bro. We rock with you, bro. We have our fun in here, you know what I'm saying? But you protect it, bro. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't know no chopping block, homie. Never that.
Anyway, let's continue. Investigators believe that the violence may have begun inside the home before moving out into the street and into the neighborhood. Deputies later recovered a blood-covered knife near the suspect's body. The attack shocked the quiet community, where neighbors described the victims as active and caring members of the area. Two of the women were involved in the arts and the volunteer groups, while another was known for helping with community events. Authorities are continuing the investigation, and community vigils have been organized to honor the four victims and support their families as the neighborhood mourns the sudden tragedy. Next story.
This is why I always say on this platform that it is time for the good white folks to actually decide to take a stance against the evil white people, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We have these demographic of people in every culture. We've got bad people in every race. And good folks always have to divide themselves from the bad people and lead by example. And I'm wondering when that's going to happen in the white community. I'm wondering when that's going to happen in the white community. And I'm going to be honest, I'm expecting it to happen with the white women. I'm expecting the white women to be the ones to actually stand up and start being disgusted with the behaviors of their men. Of their men.
Fourth, today, a teacher and a pastor in North Carolina has been arrested for illegal activity involving minors. Like I say, man, the pillars of their community.
I got to read it. You saw me kick them out of here. You know what I mean? And that means that they know that we're indoctrinated. They want us to go learn about their white Jesus, y'all. That was a perfect example. That's why I kicked them out of here quietly. Passing on that religion, passing on homosexuality, passing on the eraser act, passing on diseases and famine, passing on lies, changing the people's history. You know what I'm saying? Like this is them. My man say F church, go to hell this morning. But this is them. This is them. And they don't understand that globally, internationally, they are the minority. And the whole entire globe has white fatigue. Iran just let a whole bunch of black prisoners go and kept the white ones. Iran said the only reason they're not launching those type of over here is because they understand that black people don't control nothing. It's not us. So actually by us blacks being here, we're protecting everyone else from Iran's assault. They said it. They said it. And just the way you just said, you blacks, you can get your whites up out of here. You racist.
Teachers and the pastors, man, you already know, man, the employees of the Department of Justice, man, crazy what's going on in the community. Let's continue. A former teacher in North Carolina has been arrested and charged in a case involving illegal online activity targeting minors. Authorities say 36-year-old suspect Micah Brondike was arrested March 3rd, yesterday, in a suburb of Raleigh, North Carolina, following an investigation by a cybercrimes task force focused on protecting children on the internet. Investigators allege that the suspect...
This may be the only comment I read, only because it's written by dumps. You know what I mean? But, Todd Schultz. You might be related to Tim Walsh. You sound like you're one of those type of people who's got minors locked away in your basement. You sound like one of those type of people who have all type of indecent pictures of young minors all through your phone. And it's probably you and your wife doing it to your own children. So are you stupid or what? You're upset because we're speaking about something that has morals attached to it. We haven't forgot that you're moralist. We haven't forgot that you have absolutely no moral compass whatsoever. We haven't forgotten that you're one of those type of guys that'll walk up and grab a man's man meat and think there's nothing wrong with it. You probably do this to your own daughter and your own son, and you think there's nothing wrong with it because it's normal to you. You've been doing it so long, it's normal. It's normal. So are you stupid or what, clown? Huh? You need an ankle monitor. And here's your flight back to the Caucasus Mountains.
Communicated with an undercover officer who was posing as a minor during an online conversation. The suspect now faces multiple serious charges. Authorities say that the suspect is currently being held in the Franklin County Detention Center under a $620,000 secured bond, and he is expected to appear in court in April. At the time of his arrest, the suspect...
Dear black people in the chat, can we educate our lost white community, please? Does money run the world, or does the race that steals everyone's money, steals everyone's culture, steals everyone's identity and land, and colonizes multiple places that don't belong to them? Is it them that run the world, or money that runs the world? Huh? It can't be reasoned with. CC Motion, I don't know why I never made you a moderator. And you're constantly coming back and showing support. So today is your day. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the tribe. Mostly white people. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Teresa. Mostly white people. It's not money. It's the white people. It's the lineage of evil. They just hate when you talk against them. They feel like they should be privileged and entitled and they're beyond reproach. But you're not. But you're not. You're welcome. Thank you for always showing up and being supportive and everything else. White people are not beyond reproach. And I don't know why you feel like, excuse me, I don't know why you feel like you're the only race of people or the only culture of people that is beyond reproach. You feel like your don't stink. You know what I'm saying? You feel like your don't stink, but it does. Not only does your stink, but your history stink. And some of you, your hair stink as well. And that's not to the good white folks. That's to the very white people I'm kicking out of here. So, Teresa, you're exempt from those type of comments because you're good folks. You know what I'm saying? You're good folks. You're good folks.
Beck had previously worked at a high school as a career and technical education teacher and assistant soccer coach. Man, the coaches, the pastor, the teacher, man, crazy what's going on. The school officials say that the alleged conduct tied to the charges did not involve any high school students and did not occur on the campus.
And you know what really blindsides me? These people are so freaking unaccountable. They know everything that we're saying is true. You know what I'm saying? They know everything that we're saying is true. Teresa, over here, we rock with good folks. It don't matter what your race is. It's all about your mindset, your content, and character. You know what I mean? We have people fatigue over here. We don't like black people. We don't like white people. We don't like Spanish people. We don't like people. We like good folks, good white folks, good black folks, good Spanish folks, good Native American folks, good, you know what I'm saying? We rock out with good folks and we judge people by content of character. It's never by race, never by race, because we be the first ones to say that everybody needs everyone. None of us can get the work done alone. We're a melting pot here in this country. But we need to weed out those evil people within the white community. We need to weed out the evil people within the white community. Because this is where look at what we're going through right now, these military campaigns. These are y'all children over here coming back in caskets, not ours. We're not even allowing ours to sign up. We're not going to no longer fight for this country. We're not sending our children to sign up for that. We know who's in office. These are your children. The same people coming in here, yeah, Trump 2028. These are your children coming back in these caskets, and he's not even showing up to salute them and receive their bodies. And he said there'll be many more casualties. So this ain't us. Black people, we sitting this thing out. You know what I'm saying? We sitting this thing out. Yeah, I can already tell Teresa good peoples. You know what I'm saying? We sitting this thing out. And that's just a good example that there's good folks, man. I keep telling y'all, it's not the entire white community, bro. It's a demographic of them. Like it's a demographic of us. And I keep telling y'all, I believe the women are going to come out and really expose these men. I believe that the Caucasian woman is going to come out. She's going to be sick and tired of the way that these men are treating them as the women and treating the children that they're giving birth to. And they're going to come out and expose these monsters, y'all. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. White women and white children are witnesses to the lineage of evil that white men do behind everyone's back. Who else better to hear it from but them themselves? You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Can we get the likes up, please? Can we get those likes up, y'all? Let's get this conversation through the algorithm, y'all. Bad enough there's no gifts, no super chats, no nothing coming through. And this is a much needed to have discussion, you know, but can we at least get the likes up? You know what I'm saying? Can we at least get the likes up? And I'm going to be honest. I believe that good white men, like the white folks, you know what I'm saying? The white men who identify as good white folks, I believe they are afraid to speak up and speak out because we know what racist white people do. You know what I mean? They don't want that exposure. They don't want to be ostracized, you know? And I believe that white women are afraid to speak up right now because they don't want to ruin the little bit of support that they have. You know what I mean? Thank you, Free My Grandma. Thank you, Free My Grandma. See, this is how comments get read. Free My Grandma, thank you for sending a super chat of $2. He says super chats are welcome as well. And that is the only way comments are going to get read. I'll read my moderators because they're showing up in blue. You know what I mean? And Teresa, I want you as part of the family. Welcome to the tribe, Teresa.
As far as teaching career, the suspect also worked at North Carolina Wesleyan University in a ministry and outreach role connected to the youth theology program as a youth pastor. The university said that the alleged criminal conduct occurred well after his employment there and that it had no record of complaints involving him during his time on the campus. The suspect's wife, who served as an assistant principal at the high school, was also charged the same day with felony possession of drugs and maintaining a dwelling used for drug activity. She turned herself into the authorities and posted a $20,000 bond and has been suspended with pay while the school district conducts its own investigation. So, man, like I say, man, wife on drugs, husband engaging with minors, just crazy what's going on in the community. And this is supposed to be the youth pastor. Ha! Crazy. Let's continue. Next story. A man has been sentenced to prison for illegal images and videos involving minors. March 3rd, yesterday. Like I said, we don't got it.
Here we go again. And these are recent accounts. Here we go again. Here we go again. Here it goes again. We got one, y'all. We got one, y'all. We were just talking about those homosexuals in that community and their jokes. We got one, y'all. J.J. Keith. I guarantee he's European descent. Guarantee it. And he feels like nothing's wrong with it. Teresa, you want to take care of that clown, Teresa? Teresa, I'm going to leave it to you to take care of that clown in your community. Get that clown out of here, Teresa. That's not good white folks. Those are evil white people. Those are the very people we're talking about. Here it is. You're out of here. You're out of here. You're out of here.
Cherry pick. Like I said, we could just go day by day, every single day, and look what's happening in the community, right? Everything we discussed today happened today, yesterday, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's continue. A man from West Virginia has been sentenced to...
Ain't no such thing as a broke white person. Too much generational wealth off of slaves' back. Too much generational wealth off of undocumented immigrants' labor and back. There ain't no such thing as a broke white person. The people you see on the road begging are people who've been disowned by their family because they can't beat their habits. So they've been cut off from any monetary sources. That's what that is. There's no such thing as a broke white person. No such thing. No such thing.
Federal prison after investigators discovered hundreds of illegal images and videos involving minors on his electronic devices. Authorities say 35-year-old suspect Connor Lyons was sentenced on March 2nd, 2026 to 5 years in federal prison. Like I say, man, no.
FMG, free my grandma, say he probably was still asleep in a cave and missed his opportunity. Teresa says, LOL. I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm sure.
Accountability in this community. 5 years, bro. 5 years, man. You would have thought he got caught, selling some weed or something, selling some pounds of weed. I mean, some guys who sell pounds of weed probably get more time than that, right? You think that he might have just did something, nothing too crazy, right? But like I said, when it's culture, we're not gonna give him, a life sentence for culture. We give him 5 years, get out in like 3 years, 2 years, and then probation for the rest. And then he can go back to enjoying his cultural activities afterwards, after about 48 months. Anyway, let's get.
Hey, Primal, everybody you just named, they're raccoons. How about you go join them? Go join your peoples. Yeah, they hate it. They hate it when you pull up receipts. That's why I get them out of here, man. I get them out of here. I don't even give them a voice. They hate it more when you cut their voice off. They hate it more. They say, oh, freedom of speech, freedom. No, not in here. That's the same reason why Charlie Kirk is no longer here.
According to court documents, investigators first identified the suspect's activity.
These white people are steady saying, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke, but your family isn't. You may be. That's isolated. Your family as a whole, your mom, your grandma, aunts, uncles, no, y'all got it. Y'all got it. Maybe you made the wrong decisions as a white guy. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe your family is racist and you chose not to be racist and they, kicked you off the funds. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever it is. Maybe you're diverse and you love everybody. Your family's like, you know what? If you're going to roll with those N-words, we're cutting you off. We're cutting you off, Tyler. We're cutting you off, Taylor. We're cutting you off, Brooke. Maybe. It's possible. But the type of white people, not white folks I'm talking about, are never broke. Are never broke. So get white people in your mind and take white folks out of the equation. Because when you're good folks, you're going to suffer for good causes. But when you're evil as a person, evil as a people, those are the ones who got it all. That's the reason you're doing what you're doing. That's the reason you're doing what you're doing.
When he used a peer-to-peer file sharing network to download at least 464 illegal images and videos involving minors. Prosecutors say that the files depicted the most extreme types of illegal images and videos involving minors. The most extreme types. The suspect admitted to additional criminal activity during the investigation. The investigation escalated recently in November 2025 when law enforcement officers executed a search warrant at the suspect's residence and confiscated his electronic devices. A forensic examination of the device revealed at least 1,546 illegal images and videos involved.
Teresa, you're also learning here that we don't praise that white God. We don't praise that Bible and that European religion. We don't do that either. If that's your beliefs, we respect it. But us as a culture, we know what it's used for, and it doesn't control us. We know there's no white man coming to save us. We do not believe in that Bible. We do not believe in that Bible.
Minors that had been downloaded off the internet. Federal authorities say the case was investigated by the FBI and the local police department as part of it.
Tim Wright, shut up. Tim Wright, STFU. It sounds good, but you don't mean that. You're trying to get brownie points. I've been reading your comments the whole time. Y'all don't care about coming together. Y'all care about staying on top. Y'all care about control. You care about manipulation. You care about being on top of the down totem pole. You care about being superior over everyone else. You care about having your numbers up. You care about black and brown never controlling the government so that you don't have to go through the same damn things that y'all put us through. That's what you care about. So all of that good congressional talk you're putting in here, man, save it, man. Save it. Save it. Y'all created the division. So because we're giving an observation, now we're being divisive. You guys divided America. You guys divided the country. Your history proves it. Your history proves it. So don't come in here saying we're being divisive because we have an observance, an opinion, and we're observant about it. It's you guys. It's you guys. It's not us. It's you guys. But when it's getting thrown back at you, you have a problem being accountable. Then you want to play victim. Then you want to play victim. There's nothing I'm saying that's negative. Your behavior is negative. Y'all get that clown out of here, please.
Broad nationwide effort targeting individuals who distribute or download illegal material involving children on the internet. Next story, February 27th, the other day.
Sam Adams, you can follow him. You can follow him, Sam Adams. It's too early in the morning to be drinking Sam Adams anyways.
A man has been arrested after a woman was found dead. Now, let's get into this story. A man in West Virginia has been arrested and charged with murder after authorities say a woman was found fatally shot during the argument. According to the local police, 24-year-old suspect Richard Grad is accused of assassinating Savannah Keaton on Thursday. Troopers say that they were called to a home after receiving reports of a shooting. When officers arrived, they discovered the victim dead from an apparent gunshot wound. Investigators say that the suspect had already left the scene when law enforcement reached the area. However, he later met with the investigators at another location.
Hey, Nania, y'all aren't the victims. Y'all aren't the victims. Those children y'all won't stop touching are the victims. Those women that y'all, those people in the Epstein files, and those women that went through what they went through because of those people in the Epstein files, they're the victims. Black and brown are the victims, not white. That is your lineage of evil. That is all your chaos. That is all of your destruction. That's all of your lies. That's all of your history. That's all of the eraser act. That's all of that generational wealth that you took from slaves and that you took from exploiting labor from undocumented immigrants throughout this country and other countries to come up. That's what that is. You're not the victim. The oppressor cannot play like they're oppressed. The victimizer cannot pretend to be the victim. And that's why we say you guys are unaccountable. I'm not big mad at all. You're mad. You're mad. You guys are very unaccountable until it happens to you. So send your children over there since you love Trump so much and let their asses come back unalive. We would appreciate that. And don't cry over their caskets because this is what you live for. Hoorah, remember? Trump 2028, remember? This is what you live for. This is what you live for. This is what you live for. Y'all get those clowns out of here.
Where he was taken into custody without incident. According to the criminal complaint, authorities identified the suspect as a person of interest after a local gas station employee reported.
Y'all start with the dwarf clown Nania. Y'all start with her. Start with her. She was probably sexually harassed by her father, y'all. She's still holding on to some trauma. Let's get her out of here. We gonna get Tim up out of here too, because Tim he tells so many white lies. He got white bumps on his tongue, y'all.
That the suspect came into the store and confessed that he just killed somebody. During questioning, the investigators say that the suspect told him that he and the victim had been involved in a verbal argument before the situation had escalated. The suspect admitted that he grabbed a shotgun and shot the victim during the confrontation. The suspect is now charged with first-degree murder and currently being held as the investigation continues. Next story, March 2nd, the other day. A teacher, man, like I say, man, the pillars of their community.
It's crazy how they can still be unaccountable, but every story he's covered has been them. There's been no one black. The victims have been black. The victims have been Spanish. But all of your perpetrators, your aggressors, have been them. Every story. They're just not listening, and they're still unaccountable. They're still unaccountable. Every single story has been about them, and they're still unaccountable. These people are lost. They'll take over South Africa as a European. Now they're South Afrikaners. They'll take over America as a European. Now they're Americans. They'll take over Brazil as Europeans. Now they're Europeans. Be who the hell you are and stay where your God put you. Because you come over here and you go to all these other countries and you want to hyphenate everybody else and you want to run things. You know what I'm saying? You don't run nothing but your mouth. You don't run nothing. Nothing at all but your mouth. Be who you are. Stop stealing everyone's culture. Be who you are. Are you so ashamed of your culture that you have to assume other people's identity? You have to take over other people's countries and land and lie about it and never pay reparations? Never, ever. But you'll go over there and tear up Iran and then you're going to rebuild Iran. All of that money you're spending now, but you can't pay for 246 years of free labor. Right? There's a problem with that because there's black attached to it. You don't want to level the economic playing field. But you'll go over there, build their military up after you destroy it, give them weapons, build their regime back up, and spend all that money dropping all these bombs and whatever. But you got a problem on the other end with reparations because it's black people. But history tells us exactly what y'all did. And newsflash, most black people in America did not come from Africa. We were already here. Those slave ships leaving Africa, Brazil got the most, Haiti, Jamaica, Caribbeans, not America. That's how much you twist your history. We were already here. Columbus left accounts of it when he arrived. Those copper-colored, woolly-haired people holding gold-tipped spears, who do you think they were? Huh? They were foundational black Indians, black American Indians. So we haven't heard about the Indian slave trade, right? We haven't heard about the Indian slave trade over here in this country because they whitewashed that too, because they wanted you to assume that you were from Africa. That's what they wanted you to assume. See, when they call you African, the only thing they're really saying is black. That's what they're saying. Calling you an African is code for saying black. The same way calling them European is code for us saying white. Doesn't mean that all white people are from Europe. Just same way it doesn't mean all black people came from Africa. Came from Africa. You get your crybaby tail up out of here, man. I don't even know why y'all come here. You know you're not wanted here. You know what I mean? I'm not on X. I'm not on Truth Social. I'm not on Reddit. I know how y'all feel. So why do y'all come over here? There it is. Teresa says her grandma's Indian. Teresa, I'm going to say, look up the $5 Indian Act. There is no white people who are natural Indians. There is none. I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm factual. Teresa, learn the truth. Learn the truth. This is part of the Eraser Act, Teresa. And it always starts with y'all grandmas and great-grandmas. Just like we always have one black friend. They're not telling you the truth, sweetheart. I'm not going against you. I have nothing but love for you. I made you a moderator. You know what I mean? What color are you? What color are you, Teresa? I'm not trying to insult you, sweetheart. I mean this so innocently. I'm just trying to educate you so that you can educate your children and that we can stop these lies and we can meet in the middle of history. You understand what I'm saying? That's all I'm doing, sister. That's all I'm doing. It's nothing against you. I promise you. It's nothing against you. I don't know why didn't. Okay, so you're white. Sweetheart, you're not Indian. Your grandmother did not tell you the truth. I'm not blaming you. Watch this. All you needed was 2% for the $5 Indian Act. I guarantee it was not a big percentage. And if you have Indian in you, that means a colonizer did something with someone who was in a tribe and you came from that. Mulatto, you came from that. If you have a drop of Indian in you, see, I told you, if you have a drop of Indian in you, that's because one of those colonizers, just like the colonizers used to go out there to the villages and the cots where the slaves were and take advantage of the women, somebody took advantage of a native person, indigenous person, and you have it in your blood. And you have it in your blood. You're not Indian. Trust me, sweetie. You're not. That's another great American lie. And I'm not saying that to insult you, sweetheart. I'm saying it out of love. We got to start getting our facts and our history straight. I am no way trying to bash you. I rock with you. I appreciate you. I got mad love for you. You've been nothing but cordial. You've been nothing but sweet since you entered the platform. I am not going against you. Okay, there it is. Swedish, German, Western, Ukrainian. See? European. 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 It's not a different shade of brown. White is not a different shade of brown. It is not. It is not. It is not. You can't claim to be brown. Brown comes with melanin. White people have a melanin deficiency. It's called, let me get it right. Phenomelanin. I think it's called phenomelanin. While we have a carbon-12 melanin. No, my views aren't distorted. Here we go again. FMG, should I do it to him? Teresa, sweetheart, you're exempt from this, Teresa. Teresa, you're exempt from this, all right? But, oh, Christoph or whoever this is right here, you know what I'm saying? Watch this. Watch this. I told y'all the lie should have quit when the internet hit. I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings. I'm here to tell you the truth. Y'all come on here calling us Africans. We're not Africans. And now you come on here calling yourself Indians. You're not Indians. You're Europeans. You know what I'm saying? You're Europeans. Nothing will change that. Okay? Your ancestors did some foul things and took advantage of other people sexually without their permission. And you might have a little bit of something mixed in you, like us black people might have a little bit of something mixed in us. But make no mistake about it. When it comes to being indigenous, the only thing indigenous to this land was dark. Dark. Built for it. Built for it. The sun. Built for it. Facts. Europeans who remain in Europe live 3 years longer than Europeans over here in America due to the extreme temperatures of the sun. Look it up yourself. Look it up yourself. You know what I'm saying? Look it up yourself, because I'm working. You sound so mad right now. You sound jealous. You got to go clock in for people. You sound so jealous. But let's set the record straight. Teresa, sweetheart, you're exempt from this. Teresa, I love you. I got mad love for you, Teresa. You're exempt from this, Teresa. You know what I'm saying? You're exempt from this, Teresa. Teresa's able to tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, Teresa would be good white folks. And everybody else speaking up like this calls now, clown, white people, typical white people. They're going to tell their lie. They're going to tell their lie. You're in my country. You're in my country. You're a guest in my home on my land. You should behave yourself. You're the biggest group of illegal immigrants in the country. We can prove you got here by boat. We can prove that you are a Westerner. We can prove that you came from the Caucasus Mountains. We can prove that you came from a Neanderthal primate gene. You know how y'all call us monkeys? Yeah, those Neanderthals had that primate gene. You were used to climbing up those mountains, the Caucasus Mountains, to get to those caves. To get to those caves. Now look at that monkey's lips. That monkey has thin lips, don't they? Don't you have thin lips? Look at that monkey's fur. Straight hair? Don't you have straight hair? And if you shave that monkey, what color is he underneath all of that? Huh? White. It's you guys. It's not us. You come with that. You come with that. So while y'all are busy trying to spill all this racist stuff, I'm giving y'all truths. I'm giving y'all truths. I'm giving y'all truths. Y'all think it's racist when people tell you smell like wet dogs when you get wet. You know why? Because you have canine fur for hair. It's the same thing. I'm not being racist. You can look it up. You can look it up. Your hair is the same as dog hair. You can look it up. You have white people that'll tell you the same thing. You have white people that'll tell you when it rains, they do smell like wet dogs. I can show you right here. It's true. I'm giving you facts and y'all are stuck on race. But we can't be racist. We can be truthful, but we can't be racist. You guys are racist. Now, can a black person be prejudiced? Yes. Can we be racist? No. There's a difference. There's a difference. There is a difference. You guys are inferior just because of the sun. You are inferior. We're superior. You came from us. You came from a mitochondrial gene, better known as the Eve gene, which means that at some point you came down a birth canal of a black woman. Of a black woman. But you're quick to call us the N-word, but you came from us. But you came from, no, that's not racist to know that we are superior. You know what I'm saying? No. Was it racist for you guys when white supremacy? Huh? Was that racist? Is the KKK racist? But now that I can prove our superiority versus your inferiority, now it's racist, right? Stop playing victim. Stop being a crybaby. Be accountable. Be accountable. Watch this. If y'all follow me, you know exactly where I'm finna go. I guarantee FMG know exactly what I'm finna play. He knows exactly what I'm finna play. You guys are so unaware because your parents and your grandparents lied to you. Lied to you. Lied to you.
Did you know that you can form a Florida LLC?
I'm going to straighten all these lies out.
$0.
I'm telling you.
It's really easy.
I do too much research. I read too much. I know the truth.
Answer some questions. And
I know the truth. And I'm going to speak up for my people.
Make sure you fill out everything correctly. And even
we know y'all not going to tell the truth. Y'all don't even know the truth.
The year 1887 marked a turning point. The United States government passed the General Allotment Act, known as the Dawes Act. Sponsored by Senator Henry L. Dawes, it aimed to assimilate Native Americans into mainstream society. The act sought to dismantle communal land ownership, a core aspect of Native life. Tribes held land collectively, but the act proposed dividing it into individual parcels. Each Native American head of household would receive a plot, usually 160 acres. The government believed this would teach Native Americans about...
And I'm going to address the Native Americans too as soon as I'm done with this, because that is a lie. I teach. I tell the truth. There's nothing racist about me. If I wanted to be racist, I could and I should have, because it was a racist that unalived my grandmother. It was a racist that took my grandmother out of here. So if I wanted to be racist, trust me, you clowns have taught me how to be racist. Do I condone it? No. I say that was that person's content of character. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. But I'm about to take it away. If you want me to be racist, I can be racist because you took something away from me. And there's nothing I would like more than to take away something to someone you love, just to show you how it feels. But I'm not acting on that. I'd rather educate, and I'd rather operate on a good content of character, being a human being, than you liars. Than you liars. Than you liars. I operate on the truth. I move over what's right, over what's wrong. Race has nothing to do with it. Race has nothing to do with it. But you guys took something from me. So while you're on here calling me racist, I should be, and I don't mind. If I ever get the opportunity to get back, I'm going to let you feel the same thing. Because that's the only way you're going to learn. See, we have to do the same thing to y'all that y'all did to us. That's why I admire brother Nat Turner. Nat Turner said, damn, they babies too. They did it to our babies. They fed them to the gators. We going to unalive their babies too. That's why I admire Nat Turner. Huh? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Remember that golden rule? Remember that golden rule? Remember the reason you set the 10 Commandments in place so that we didn't do the same things to you guys that you guys did to us and our ancestors? I'm past that. I'm going to do the same thing. And you guys are motivating me because you're so damn evil and unaccountable. Evil and unaccountable. Why not just admit it and move on? Why not admit it and move on? I'm racist because I'm telling the truth. Huh? I'm racist because I'm telling the truth, huh? Huh? I'm racist because I'm telling the truth, huh? You can help what your ancestors did because you are your ancestors and you're still doing the same thing right now, dummy. Get up out of here. You are your ancestors. Just believe and know that we aren't our ancestors. It won't work this time. You know what I'm saying? It won't work this time. Oh, y'all getting big mad now. Y'all getting big mad. Here, get the truth. Get the truth.
Property and self-sufficiency. The ultimate goal was assimilation, erasing distinct cultures. But behind these intentions lay a more complex reality.
Look at those black
the Dawes
Indians.
Act was also about land.
Look at those
Vast
black
amounts of
Indians.
native land were at stake, desired by many white Americans.
Wait a minute.
The act provided a legal mechanism for transferring land from native control to white control.
See?
The promise of
They don't like the
Dawes
truth.
Act was also about land. Vast amounts of native land were.
They don't like the truth.
The ultimate.
They don't like the truth. And I'm going to show you the truth. You know what I'm saying? They don't like the truth. White people are the most unaccountable people you will ever meet in life, but white folks will tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? So there's a difference between white people and white folks. I love white folks. I can rock out with white folks. Y'all invited to the barbecue. Lifetime black card. Leave your white people at home. White folks, you're more than welcome. Leave your white people at home.
Goal was assimilation, erasing distinct cultures. But behind these intentions lay a more complex reality.
Black
the Dawes
Indians.
Act was also about land.
Black
Vast
Indians.
amounts of native land were at stake, desired by many white Americans. The act provided a legal mechanism for transferring land from native control to white control. The promise of assimilation often masked the reality of dispossession. The shadow of this act would stretch long, impacting generations of native people.
Crystal, thank you, sweetie. Oh, I'm going to tell the truth. They say the truth hurts, right? They say the truth hurts. They say the truth hurts. They say the truth hurts. Y'all telling us to go to church. We ain't going to church to get them lies. We right here receiving the truth. You know what I'm saying? We right here telling the truth. Y'all can't do that. You know why you have to lie? To maintain white supremacy, to maintain control, so that a culture of people never realize the great American switch, the eraser act, and everything else you set into play to assume their identity, to take their land, to lie about your broken promises and the generational wealth gap. That's why it's important for you to lie. But every time you lie, you have to compile more lies on top of those lies. When I can just simply tell the truth and be done with it. You can't do that. You can't do that.
To implement the Dawes Act,
you can be held responsible. You're still spending that generational wealth. Those are your ancestors. You are responsible. Huh? You were alive when that crime bill was passed. You were alive when redlining was implemented. Huh? Those are still racist policies. Those are your people. You are held accountable. The same way you're held accountable in the Epstein files. So the majority of those people are you guys. I can't be held accountable for what my ancestors. Yeah, you can. You spending that generational wealth. Huh? Where you think that beachfront property come from? All your big dually trucks? Why you think you can go spend $100,000 easy? You know what I'm saying? The average black household, $27,000 a year. That means that there is a $146,000 gap that you guys have in between a black household and a white household. How do you think you got that? Oh, I'm giving you facts. How do you think you got that? Huh? Y'all rich off of a slave's back. You're rich from exploiting melanated, undocumented immigrants. You have never done any work. Sitting on horseback with rifles in the shade with sunscreen on is not doing the work. That is not labor. That's lazy. 400-year head start, and guess who still leads when it comes to EBT, SNAP, HUD, Section 8, and everything else? You people. You people. A majority of people you see on the signs, on the road, holding signs, hungry, real work for food, veteran, blah, 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 anything helps, they look just like you. They look just like you. Not like us. They look just like you. Just like you. Y'all don't like the truth.
The government had to identify who was eligible for land allotments. This led to the creation of the Dawes rolls, official lists of tribal members. The Dawes Commission, established in 1893, aimed to convince certain tribes to accept allotment. These tribes were the Cherokee, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Creek, and Seminole nations.
The 5 black Indian tribes that was here before colonization and Europeans got here. Oh, look how that works. You're not Indian. You're not indigenous. You're not. Your grandparents lied to you. Those are all black tribes. All black tribes, baby. Frederick Douglass was an Indian. Huh? Potomac Indian. Jesse Jackson, Cherokee Indian. Huh? See, you don't know what you're talking about. Copper color. Copper color. Copper color. Let me give it to you. Copper color. Copper color. Woolly haired. Copper color. Woolly hair. Y'all can't do that. That copper don't look like that against your skin. It stands out. Stop lying. Stop lying. Let's go.
The process of creating the Dawes rolls was painstaking and often flawed. Commission members traveled to Indian Territory, setting up enrollment centers and interviewing thousands. People had to prove their native ancestry and membership in one of the 5 tribes. This was difficult for many, as oral traditions were strong and written records scarce. The commission demanded specific kinds of proof, often misaligned with tribal ways of knowing kinship. The final rolls, completed in 1907, contained over 101,000 names. These individuals were deemed entitled to an allotment of land.
Oh, they don't
However,
like the
the
truth.
rolls were far from perfect,
Oh,
excluding many.
he's goofy. Yeah, he's goofy. You're a liar. You're not Indian. You're not indigenous. Your grandma lied. Please dig her dead up and get her off of our land too. You know what I'm saying? Please dig up your dead grandmother and get her carcass off of our land as well. You know what I'm saying? You come in here with it, I'm going to return the energy. Dig her up and move her. She's on our land, and you didn't ask permission. You didn't ask permission. She's on our land. Oh, y'all big mad. Y'all big mad now. They big mad, boy. You're not Indian. And I'll get you the Siberian Strait too.
Literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is base 40.
Don't worry.
And still pops up today.
For everybody who think they Native American, I'm gonna address y'all too. You Siberian Strait, you know what I'm saying? Ellis Island individuals. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at all. I'm knowledgeable. I'm giving you the truth. I'm just shocked that y'all don't know the truth. Y'all claim you know everything else. You claim you superior. How you don't know the truth? How you don't know the truth? You put all this stuff in place to maintain an advantage over other ethnic groups, and you're going to continue to lie about it in 2026 while the internet is out. The lies should have quit when the internet hit. You know what I mean? How y'all still running around here lying? You're going to claim to be indigenous to a land and the sun does not like you. How can you be indigenous to the land where the sun itself causes growth, healing, energy to everyone else, even a plant and a gnat, but not you? It gives you death. It gives you cancer. It exploits your curse. But yet you're indigenous though. You're indigenous. Yep, you're superior. Yep. Bleed that in your next life.
Ever come across the term $5 Indians? It's one of those quirky historical tidbits that almost sounds made up. Imagine this, late 19th century America, where for just $5, roughly $150 today, someone could reportedly get themselves listed as Native American.
For $5.
This isn't a feel-good story about cultural blending, though. It's about greed, ambition, loopholes, and the tangled mess of identity and
who's tied to greed more than they are? Huh? Who would be motivated to pull something like this off and lie about it more than they are? And I even gave you someone who looks like you to tell you about your history since you can't be accountable, you lying clowns.
Bureaucracy. These illegal land grabs have had an impact on people today, and the term $5 Indians has become a jab at people who are part of the wannabe tribe and the pretendians. Today, we're digging into what $5 Indians means, how it got started, and why it still lingers in history. Let's travel back to the 1890s and explore this strange chapter. Hey everybody, this is Colonel Carson with Family Tree Nuts, and I'm a professional genealogist and a historian. In our videos entitled, No, You're Not Cherokee, and No, You're Still Not Cherokee, we have had thousands of people make comments about $5 Indians, but I discovered that most folks had never heard the term. That's when I knew that it was time to make this video. At Family Tree Nuts, we build family trees for clients that either don't know how, don't have the time, or don't want to pay those expensive membership fees. We'd love to honor your ancestors for you. We also make history videos all over the United States and a few countries. So if you like videos like these, be sure to subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Now back to the story. To get the full picture, we need some context. By the late 1800s, the U.S. government was focused on managing Native American lands and resources, often through policies like the Dawes Act of 1887. The plan was to divide the tribal lands into individual allotments for Native Americans, with any extra land made available for settlement. To decide who was qualified, they created the Dawes Rolls, official list of tribal members. It sounds organized, but things quickly got complicated. Those allotments weren't just patches of ground. They held value, timber, grazing fields, even oil in some regions. And where there's value, people always find ways to get in on it. The term $5 Indians comes from a scheme where some individuals, often settlers with no tribal ties, paid small bribes, typically around $5, to get on those rolls. Their goal? To claim land allotments. It was fraud, no doubt, and it happened more than you'd hope. You've got no tribal ancestry, but you got $5 and a friend who knows a shady enrollment official. You slip that cash under the table and maybe claim a distant native grandma that no one can verify, and bam, you're on the list. Suddenly, you're allotted 160 acres that should have gone to an actual tribal member.
Now count the comments in here where all these Europeans saying, my grandma, my grandma, my grandma. This is someone who looks just like you, telling you the truth about your lying behind grandma. He just called it out. Did y'all miss that? Dig your lying grandmas up and tell them to tell you the truth. Dig up your lying grandmothers. Where you think the term white lie came from? White people. Your grandma was a part of the great white lie. The great white lie. What did he just say? What did he just say? What did he just say?
You got $5 and a friend who knows a shady enrollment official. You slip that cash under the table and maybe claim a distant native grandma that no one can verify, and bam, you're on the list. Suddenly, you're allotted 160 acres that should have gone to an actual tribal member. Some estimates say that a few hundred to around 1,000 people pulled this off, especially in the 5 civilized tribes: Cherokee, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Creek, and Seminole. The corruption wasn't subtle. Court records from the era show officials caught taking bribes, forged documents, and even fake testimonies. One guy, a lawyer and eventual U.S. Senator named Napoleon Bonaparte Moore, got busted for enrolling over 500 fake Indians, all for profit. The going rate? You guessed it, about $5 a head. It's almost comical until you realize the cost. Real Native families lost land, heritage, and wealth to these schemes. And here's the kicker. The Dawes Rolls weren't just about land. They became the official record of tribal identity. Even today, some tribes use them to determine membership. So those $5 Indians didn't just steal property, they muddled the waters of who's really part of a tribe. The ripple effects were huge. By the time the Dawes Rolls closed in 1907, over 2/3 of tribal land, about 90 million acres, had been transferred out of native hands. The $5
colonizers doing what colonizers do, and they're all in here claiming they're Native Americans. I'm showing you that you're not. That's how you got it, the great American lie. Y'all have a problem being who the heck you are. You take over Africa, now all of a sudden you call yourself South Afrikaners. No, you're still a European. You take over America, now you call yourself American. No, you're still a European. You take over Brazil, now you call yourself Brazilian. You're still European. You do away with the Native Americans and you call yourself Native Americans. No, you're still European. y'all guys have a problem assuming other people's identity, taking other people's land, building wealth off of other people's back, exploiting their melanin, and claiming to be something you're not. This is why we say y'all have a problem being unaccountable. How do y'all control history and won't tell the truth about your history? Then when your history is exposed, when we expose your lies, then it's a problem. So you're the racist, because only a racist will hide their history. Only a racist will do the racist things that I just forementioned.
Were just one piece of the puzzle, but they highlight how greed and systematic flaws screwed over entire communities. Families whose ancestors survived forced relocation, like the Trail of Tears, now watch their land shrink again, this time to con artists with a few coins. It's not all ancient history either. The term $5 Indian still pops up today, sometimes as a jab at people claiming native ancestry without proof. You've probably seen it, the old, "Oh, my great-grandma was a full-blooded Cherokee princess" line, but they have no evidence. Most of
Hey, I love when white people take this jab. Listen, white people are so unaccountable, man. Not white folks, white people. Teresa, again, sweetheart, you are exempt. We love you. Welcome to the family. We rock out with you, and trust me, we'll protect you better than your white man protects you, Teresa. We got you. We love you, Teresa. You're not a part of this. But I like this, y'all. I like this. I like this. So there were white slaves as well. Who enslaved them, dummy? Who enslaved the white people too? Don't that prove just how evil your lineage is? Who enslaved the white people? Was it white people? Wasn't it white people that enslaved white people? Wasn't it? Wasn't it? Wasn't it? Nah, so why did you bring it up? It was a pointless argument. You said that just to keep from being accountable. But white people enslaved white people. Ask the Irish. Ask the Italian. The Arabs had a little bit to do with it. Ask them. Ask them. Ask them. White on white crime is in trouble. Ask them. Huh? Where did the white people get slaves? So you didn't do it to the Irish? Huh? Boy, you don't know your history. You this close to being kicked up out of here. What's up, J-Dub? I know that's you. I know when you make an entrance. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they goofy as heck. They got all these excuses and no truth. Don't know their history. You know what I'm saying? Don't know their history. Oh, white people were slaves too. You did it to yourselves. That's just more proof that you can't get the work done. You are lazy and entitled. You did it to yourselves. So thank you for exploiting my truths. Thank you. Thank you for exploiting my truths. Stephen Duck, send a cash app, you dummy. Huh? Send a super chat, you dummy. If you want anything, and we can't talk to dummies.
Those that say this have roots in Appalachia and are not connected to the $5 Indians. But for a tiny fraction of those making this claim, the story traces back to these frauds. The term $5 Indian is now used for anyone thinking that they're native, even if their family stories don't trace back to this illegal land grab. It's a catchphrase for all those that are part of the wannabe tribe and the pretendian.
There it is, you pretendians. You want to be part of the tribe. You want to be invited to the cookout. You want to be black, but you're not. But you're not. But you're not. But you're not.
And for the tribes,
you pretendians,
it's a sore spot. Enrollment is sacred.
You pretendians.
It's about culture and belonging.
Y'all let Steve stay here so you can get educated, y'all. Let Steve stay. If y'all got to hide his comments, hide all the white people comments. Let the good white folks comment. You know what I'm saying? Hide all of the white people comments, but let the good white folks comments stay there. Okay? So y'all can hide Steve Duck's comments. Every time he comment, y'all hide it. If you see anything come from Steve Duck, don't kick him out. Just hide it, moderators. He ain't got no voice on here. Hide it. Let all the racist white people be voiceless. But let the good white folks continue to tell the truth. Because that's what we need. That's what we need. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need. That's what we need. So we're going to hide. We're going to hide Mr. Racist right here. You know what I'm saying? We're going to hide Mr. Racist. We're going to hide Mr. Racist. Huh? Y'all take him out of there. Y'all take him out of there. Y'all take him out of there. Moderators, don't give them no voice. Let them see how I feel. No, you go home. Yeah, go home, Steve. Go home, Steve. Take their voice away. Because, see, the good white folks are speaking up. And, boy, the evil white people don't like that. The evil white people don't like that. You know what I'm saying? They don't like that. They don't even like when good white folks speak up, y'all. They don't like that. Look at all the white folks in here saying, yeah, you're right. I agree. I agree. I agree. You know what I'm saying? Look, but these people who are taught to be racist because they don't want to have to come up off of those reparations, y'all, look at them. Look how they sweating. And you wait to cover how many reparation bills are in Congress right now. See, what they're doing is giving the states the opportunity to decide. And every state that know they had slaves, those governors got to come clean. Oh, yeah, the pressure is on. The pressure is on. The pressure is on. Huh? The pressure is on. Huh? Get up out. I told you you ain't got no voice. Every time you comment, bro, every time you comment, Steve, I need one, free my grandma. Every time Steve says something, take it out of here. Every time Chris says something, take it out of here. Free my grandma, I'm asking you to do that because I know you'll stay on top of it. Anytime Chris and Steve comment, hide their comments. Take their little high-pitched voices away. They sound like little rats anyways. Take their voices away.
This paperwork. When outsiders gained the system, it didn't just take the land. It messed with identity. There's a flip side too. Some descendants of $5 Indians argue that they're legit. Maybe great-grandpa did have a tiny bit of native blood, but without solid records, it's a tough sell. And the tribes get to decide, not the government or some online DNA test. So what's the lesson here? The $5...
They stated hollering DNA didn't. Online DNA test can't determine that. There's a thing called reclassification. Y'all aren't familiar with that either. We'll get into that.
Indian story is a unique glimpse into a larger tale, how America's land policies reshape lives and legacies in unexpected ways. It's a reminder that history can be messy, unfair, and downright bizarre. Next time you hear someone toss around that phrase $5 Indian, you'll know that it is more than a quirky saying. It's a symbol of a hustle that changed the map. So, now we know about the $5 Indians. What do you think? Have you heard this term before? What are your thoughts about the history of it?
Carl Snow, that's a lie. That's a lie. We all didn't take turns. Those black Islamic Moors came and saved you guys. When Rome fell, those black Islamic Moors that originated out of Africa went to Europe during the fall of Rome and Europe and saved you guys. Listen, man, I know my history. I know my history. They reigned from 711 all the way into 1492, the year of your colonization and Christianity. And that's why you guys don't like Islam right now, because you don't want to be reminded of the very black people who taught y'all how to wipe your butts, cook your food, bathe your butts. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be reminded of that. That's why America has this beef with Islam, because of those black Moors, those Islamic Moors that came and saved Europe. Not conquered, settled it to save it. To save it. No, I like white folks. I don't like white people. I like white folks. I do not like white people. I love me some white folks. I hate white people. I love me some white folks. I hate me some white people. Huh? That's why y'all don't want to tell the truth. That's why y'all don't want to tell the truth. If you don't know what that means, you know what I'm saying? We love white folks. We hate white people. I bet you every black person in here can tell you exactly what that means. But since you don't know if you're a good white folks or evil white person, you can't depict it. You know what I'm saying? You can't depict it because you don't know where you lay at. You don't know where you stand. We love good white folks. Boy, I will fight a black person. I will fight black people about good white folks. But I will not fight my people about a white person. Hell no, whoop they. You know what I'm saying? Put it on them. Put it on them. And you can't debate that. Hey, FMG. Steve is talking again. Steve is talking again, FMG. Let's get him out of here. Steve is talking again. You know what I'm saying? Steve is talking again. I'm not answering any questions that's not sent by Super Chat. I'm here. I'm busy debunking y'all white lies and y'all whitewash history. I'm busy. I'm working. YouTube pays me for this. You know what I mean? YouTube pays me for this. So if you got something you want to ask, send a Super Chat. You know y'all white people superior. Y'all got the money, right? Huh? Y'all laughing about the wealth gap, right? You don't want to pay those reparations, right? You can send it in those reparations in the form of a Super Chat if you want your questions answered. Because I'm on your heads this morning. Not white folks, white people. I'm on your heads this morning. I ain't got no problem with white folks. I have no problem with white folks, Asian folks, Spanish folks. I got a problem with people. I got a problem with people. I have a problem with people. So to all you wannabe Native Americans now, let me straighten y'all too. Let me straighten y'all too. And the funny part is y'all got to come to a black man's podcast to get the truth. When you have Chat GPT, you have computers, laptops, iPhone 17s, you've got all this. Y'all can afford it. Y'all drive smart cars that's not smart enough to tell you the truth. But I'm smart enough to tell you the truth. If I was a whole nerd in school, I would be a nerd until I die. I would be a nerd until I die. You know what I mean? Real talk. I would be a nerd until I die. See, these are the people right here y'all recognize as Native Americans. But they're not Native Americans.
Do you know what eating banana can do to your liver?
They were imported here after America enslaved the original Indians. You don't hear about the Indian slave trade in America, do you? No, that's because white people control history. But I could find it on your internet. I could find it on your internet. You know what I mean? So those Native Americans that y'all are used to seeing, they were imported here after they enslaved and traded all of the black Indian slaves that was here. Black indigenous Indians. So they imported through Ellis Islands and the Siberian Strait, they imported Asian, South Pacific Asian peoples and called them Native Americans. But don't take my word for it.
What happens when an entire region is demographically
don't take my word for it.
Virtually overnight? What does it look like when an indigenous group is replaced and or assimilated into a foreign nation? Pretty much everyone's aware of how the Europeans conquered and transformed the American continents, with each country now being a highly unique territory in terms of genetics.
The lies should have quit when the internet hit.
People are aware of the Turco-Mongol conquest of Central Asia around the same time, which also fundamentally changed the population as well, as I discussed recently, replacing the Western Eurasian Indo-Europeans with the now highly mixed Turkic Central Asians, which is why I refer to the Turkic peoples as the Latinos of Asia. Nearby, however, a region larger than any other country on Earth was also completely changed in a much shorter time period. A region that has entered global vernacular as a synonym for frozen, barren wastelands, often referred to as North Asia, but more commonly known as Siberia, every Soviet dissident and political prisoner's worst nightmare. What is Siberia exactly? Well, there's not really a cut and dry definition. According to the Russians, the Siberian Federal District consists of this collection of administrative divisions, most of which are known as oblasts, the Russian equivalent of a U.S. state, which are located north of Kazakhstan, stretching up to the Arctic Ocean in the north. However, traditionally, the term Siberia was used to refer to all of Russia east of the Ural Mountains, over 3/4 of its total land area, but conversely, less than 1/4 of the country's population, and this stretches from the Urals in the west, not too far from Ukraine and Eastern Europe, all the way to the Sea of Japan in the far east, and the Bering Strait as well, being the border between Russia and North America, with Alaska being only 50 miles away, although some islands are of course even closer. This creates a bit of a conundrum when attempting to define different North Asian, East Asian, Central Asian, Eastern European, and Native American civilizations, as there was heavy overlap between different regions. Historically, there were no distinct borders and definitions, so Siberia saw a huge range of different peoples inhabit its landscape. The most famous, or rather infamous of which, would clearly be the Mongols, who spread out throughout nearly all of Eurasia, although ironically, despite being incredibly close to the Mongol homeland and being nearly uninhabited and defenseless, making conquest extremely easy, the Mongols never attempted to incorporate the northern portions of Siberia, most likely because they knew there would be little to no compensation in doing so. However, going back even further than this, it becomes rather murky when attempting to divide between the major extended regionalized ancestral continuums, as one group that formerly inhabited southern Siberia and Central Asia is known as the Ancient North Eurasians, or ANE, a unique ancestral continuum that most likely diverged from Western Eurasians thousands of years ago. This ANE component was dominant in most of Siberia for most of human history in the Eurasian landmass until further waves of migration from Eastern and Western Eurasia came to this region and intermixed with the indigenous ANE populations. Now, what fascinates people the most is the fact that the first Amerindians actually originated in Siberia and heavily intermixed with the ancient North Eurasians, which is how haplogroup Q came to dominate most Native American groups, and which is where many believe haplogroup R originates from among the Amerindians of North America today, although others believe this is merely from later European admixture or from an ancient group of Europeans known as the Solutreans who crossed the Atlantic. Interestingly, the ANE component is actually higher in Amerindian populations the further south you go in the continents, meaning most of the indigenous peoples of South America are actually closer to the ANE base than those from the north, which makes sense seeing as to how those in the north are closer to Eastern Eurasians since more recent migration.
Don't the truth hurt, y'all? Don't the truth hurt? Damn, you know, came in, got your feelings hurt, and all you had to do is come in here, be quiet, shut up, and listen and learn. But you don't know how to do that. Now you gotta come out of here, gotta go dig your grandma up, slap her for lying, you know what I'm saying? And now you done got your feelings hurt about your own identity. Damn, that must hurt. That must hurt. That must hurt. That must hurt. Don't it hurt, y'all? Don't that hurt?
Have impacted them, but more on that.
Y'all could not keep y'all white since where y'all fake God put y'all. Y'all go colonize and travel, and y'all pioneers and expeditioners. Remember how you indigenous when history tell us that y'all are Westerners, that y'all were expeditioners, huh? That you were pioneers, that you were colonizers and conquerors. How? You don't know where the hell you from. Let me help you. Caucasus Mountains, Europe. Let me help you. No matter what land you've conquered or whose identity you've stolen, it is not you. It is not you. It is just you telling another lie. You know what I'm saying? It's you telling another lie.
Video. Therefore, modern Europeans are more closely related genetically to indigenous Siberians and Native Americans than they are to East Asians, as they don't have this ancient North Eurasian component that has heavily affected the gene pools of the former two populations, but the bulk of their ancestry is still derived from later Eastern Eurasian migrations, although heavily dependent on group and diverged significantly in the case of most Amerindians.
Eastern Asian migrations. Come on, white people. We can't be this slow. What does migration mean? Y'all know all about this because y'all work all the immigrants. Y'all work all the immigrants. Y'all work the black people. Come on, let's be smart, white people. What does migrants mean? What does migration mean? You know what I'm saying? Ain't no may God have mercy on my soul. May God have mercy on y'all lying souls. I'm doing God's work by telling the truth. That's how I know your fake God don't exist either. That's how I know your fake God, your fake Jesus. That's part of y'all white supremacy thing. But I'm going to tell y'all got black people on that one. Y'all got black people on that one. Because black people hate everything about white supremacy, but they love that white God and that white Jesus y'all created. Now, how can the oppressed and the oppressor have the same God? I don't know. I don't subscribe to that. I don't care if Jesus was Hebrew. I don't care if he was Nazareth. I don't care what he was. He did not exist. And he doesn't exist. He was written into law. First Council of Nicaea, 325 AD, Constantine. Do your research. Do your research. Y'all know what this world really hates? They really fear a smart black man. They really fear a smart black man. See, y'all don't mess with the sweet black man. Y'all don't mess with the black man that's of the rainbow community. They ain't no threat to y'all. But a smart, vigilant, educated black man, oh, that's something for y'all to deal with right there. That's something for y'all to deal with right there. Oh, y'all don't like that. I'm a detriment to you. I'm a detriment to your white supremacy. I'm a detriment to your fake Christianity. I'm a detriment to your white lies. I'm a detriment to your white history. I'm a detriment to everything you did deceitful to deceive other races and ethnic groups of people, because I'm going to tell the truth and exploit you for the frauds and the demons that you are. From the frauds and the demons that you are. Oh, y'all don't like my type, and I'm all right with that because I don't like your type either. I'm all right with that. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, Crystal. We cooking this morning. We cooking this morning. Let's get those likes up, black family. We're not expecting these racists to get those likes up. You know what I'm saying? But if you black, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Carl Snow, you about on your way out of here, Carl Snow. You about on your way out of here, Carl Snow. You about on your way. I'm a man of second chances, but you've had many of them. Now, let me tell you what else they did to us, black folks. Huh? Black family. Black family. FBA. Black first. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you what else they did to us. Let me tell you what else they did to us, y'all. Let me tell you, oh, it's unproductive because I'm telling the truth, huh? You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm a fraud. No, you guys are the frauds. You're not really Native Americans. You're not really Americans. You're not really South Afrikaners. You know what I'm saying? You're not indigenous. You're not inferior. You didn't build. You didn't do no work. You know what I'm saying? That's what they are. That's what they are. What Hunter just said right here, that's what y'all are. That's what y'all are. That's what y'all are. Oh, but let me hurt your feelings real quick. Let me hurt your feelings real quick. Let me hurt your feelings.
All right, family. This guy is Walter Plicker. All right. In 1924, during the Racial Integrity Act, this man reclassified all American Indians who he deemed as mixed, or who was full-blooded and he thought was mixed, as colored.
Okay, white people, look up the Racial Integrity Act. Come on, let's get educated, white folks. And you can tell everybody you learned it from black people. We are the smartest. We built everything. We did everything. We even built 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. We did everything. You know what I'm saying? They fake out everything they do, bro. They fake. Even their bank accounts fake because that's our money. You know what I'm saying? Even their bank accounts fake. Even their bank accounts fake. And this guy here got the Hunter Biden gene and want to call somebody a crackhead. Come on, Hunter Biden. I'm glad you got Hunter Biden up out of here. Let's tell the truth about it. Come on.
Even on Congress.gov, number 57 says, the Virginia Vital Statistics Bureau classed all non-reservation Indians as Negro. So any American Indian that was not living on a reservation got classified as Negro. And eventually Afro-American, African-American, and now we're just black. Make sure you guys subscribe for more content just like this. All right, family. God. This guy is.
Oh my God.
All right. Look. In 1924,
they stole our identity. They reclassified us. I told y'all we are the true American Indians. I told y'all copper colored, woolly hair, carrying gold tipped spears. Christopher Columbus said that himself. Christopher Columbus said that himself. Said that himself. See, they don't like the truth. Yeah, y'all look up Walter Plecker. Y'all look up the Racial Integrity Act. Huh? Y'all telling me I'm goofy, I'm a clown, I'm weird, I'm calling divisiveness? No, I'm exploiting the divisive behavior of you guys, of your lineage. Huh? I'm exploiting it. King Fire, what's up? What's up? What's up? Look, they ain't got nothing to say now. They ain't got nothing to say now. Why ain't they talking, y'all? Why ain't they talking now? Why aren't they talking? I just want to know, why ain't they got nothing to say now? Why? Why? Why ain't they got nothing to say? Nothing at all.
You guys definitely don't want to miss this one. Make sure you follow me for more historical information. I love bringing facts. I don't like bringing BS. I love waking people up to the truth of how history has been distorted and how you could.
Black family, let's get those likes up. I need to be close to 100 likes, please. Come on, black family. A lot of us that came in and out of here. You know what I mean? Sharice, Hey, Sharice be coming back. Grand Rising, Sharice. Sharice, I done saw you too many times returning my live, sweetheart. Now I'm finna put you to work. Now I'm finna put you to work. Welcome to the tribe. Welcome home. Y'all welcome Sharice to the tribe, y'all.
Be someone else other than who you think you are, i.e. an African American. However, this particular topic goes back to my last post that I made about HR 4637, right there, and how the United States government told the Muskogee Creek that if they did not fulfill their treaty obligations and put the Creek freedmen back fully enrolled.
And the Muskogee Creek Indians were black. Were black. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Tell the truth about it. Huh? Come on, Pilgrims. Tell the truth about who those Indians really were. Come on, Pilgrims. Why else would you make a holiday exploiting it? Huh? Y'all don't even know the song Ring Around the Rosie, Pocket Full of Posy. That's racist too. They called Indians posies back then. They called them posies. Do your research. I'm deep with this. It's racist. It's just as racist as your national anthem. It's racist. We were those Indians. Tell the truth about it, Pilgrims. Huh? Tell the truth about it. Now's your time to come clean, because the good white folks know. Come on, white people. Tell the truth about it. Get your breakthrough. Come on. Free your souls. If God was to come back today, are you ready? Ain't that what y'all like to ask people? If Jesus was to come back, are you ready? You ain't ready because you keep lying. You ain't ready because you can't be yourself. Huh? You ain't ready because you ain't sent no compensation, no reparations, no restoration towards any of the melanated people you've afflicted in history to get where you are. So if your fake white Jesus was really real and he was coming back today, boy, y'all know where y'all will be. Y'all know where y'all will be. Let's go. Let's go. Boy, y'all ain't never seen nothing like me on the internet, boy, because I don't give a... When y'all took my grandma from me, I gave 0 after that. 0. So I don't care who feelings it hurt, because you ain't care about hurting my feelings. Huh? You ain't care about me crying over my grandma. Huh? You ain't care about that. You laughed about it. How the hell you get an 18-year sentence, but you got in 3 years, and my grandma's still gone? But if I get locked up in this same state, I got to do 85%. Talk to me. So if I wanted to be racist, trust me, you gave me all the motivation I needed. All the motivation I needed. This from my grandma, Miss Doris Wright. Y'all got me effed up.
That they was going to relinquish their rights and take away their funding. Now, I'm going to read this. However, it goes a lot deeper. And I want you guys to bear with me and stay with me with this. And I want you to definitely share this with other people who may be misinformed or who don't know this history. But here we go. The bill is real simple: to sever United States government relations with the Creek Nation of Oklahoma until time.
I appreciate that, FMG. And it take a lot for me to mention that, because y'all know I always get teary-eyed, bro. I have to walk away from the camera every time this conversation comes up. But if these racists really knew how they affect people, oh, you're trying so hard because you couldn't put 1360 and all that. 13, you trying so hard, ain't you? Huh? Let's try 2977. Y'all ready to get rid of them now? Huh? Y'all go ahead and put 2977 in the chat. I like that. Y'all let Jay stay, since Jay want to listen to Charlie Kirk, right? Since Jay want to listen to Charlie Kirk, let's do it, y'all. And my tribe know where I'm going. My tribe know where I'm going with this. My tribe, but I always give y'all the same one, so I give y'all a different one this time, okay? I give you a different one this time. I give you a different one this time. All right? I give you something different, man. I don't like listening to the same content over and over again, and I'm sure y'all don't either. So I give you a different one this time. All right? I certainly will, if I can find it in good speed here. I'll give you a different one. Huh? I'll give you a different one. Because you guys, what you mean to say with 1350, and don't make me pull out, where's the paperwork? Y'all know I got the receipts. I just went through this yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I just went through this yesterday, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I just went through this yesterday with the 1350, right? And then I pulled out the FBI 2019 crime data sheet, and I showed y'all how white people dominated all the crimes on there, right? So what they mean to say is that, yes, how can I put this? Y'all system of mass incarceration is what produced 1350. It's a lie. Because what you mean to say is we make up 13% of the population, but we are exonerated at over 50% of all falsely accused crimes. That's what you mean to say. That's what you mean to say. But let me explain 2977 to you. Let me explain 2977. Oh, y'all gonna see them clear the room, man. They gonna clear the room. They are going to clear the room, I'm telling you. They not gonna hang around. Don't nobody run from the truth like them. Y'all count how many in the room right now, and then count how many in the room when I play this. Count how many in the room, y'all. Do a head count. Roll call. Roll call. Count how many in here right now. Because as soon as I play this, we're going to go down to down there like 30 or 40 people in here. I'm telling you. Watch. I'm just trying to find a different one. Because I get tired of listening to the same content over and over. But screw it. We'll do it. Oh, here it is. I found it. There it is. There it is. I found it. There it is. Y'all do a head count. How many in here right now? How many in here right now?
It's time to have a brutally honest.
Do a head count, y'all. How many in here? Let's do a head count. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this, y'all. I'm going to show y'all how much white people hate the truth. Watch this, y'all. 2977.
Conversation about crime in America, and if you're easily offended, swipe up. This is not the video for you. Do you know that 1 in every 22 black men in America will commit murder in his lifetime?
Yeah, we back. We back. Now, today's video is going to be a follow-up video to the one I dropped yesterday entitled Black Crime 1350 Conservative Propaganda Debunked. Now, in that video, I was attacking a common talking point you hear from certain conservative commentators, right? The black community, black men are X amount of the population committing X amount of the crimes. And of course, in that video, we went deep into that topic, debunked that topic, deconstructed that topic. Check it out. Now, today's video is going to be a follow-up video to that one. It's still going to be talking about crime in America, but we're going to be focused on a different demographic. You know, we love talking about black men, and, you know, black men always get the spotlight. But today, I want to share some of that spotlight with some other demographics. You know, I don't want to hog up all the airtime. You know, we love talking about black men all goddamn day. So I want to step off the stage, and I want to allow some other demographics to get on center stage, right? Now, like I said, a common talking point of certain conservative media personalities is that black men are X amount of the population committing X amount of the violent crimes, right? That's why they go around saying things like 1350 and things like that. So when it came to me, I came with a different numerical equation. I came with the 2977. Now, what is the 2977? 2977, I get that from the stats that came directly from the federal sentencing data, right? Which means that white males are 29% of the U.S. population, and they make up 77% of the individuals convicted on certain crimes against children, right? And I feel like they spend so much time talking about black men, but we never have conversations about other demographics. So I want to take it upon myself. I'll start the conversation. Since nobody else wants to have the conversation, I'll go ahead and do it. Now, when you look at those numbers, 29% of the population committing 77% of any crime, it doesn't matter. You are way overrepresented. That is ridiculous, right? So that's what I mean by 2977. So we're going to go in deep on this topic. We're going to go to certain data that comes from the government, certain research papers, and we're going to go to a series of news stories that came out recently.
Let's go ahead and make the white people mad, y'all. Not the white folks. Let's make the white people mad. Because y'all know we got it. Y'all know we got it. Y'all know we got it on deck. Huh? Y'all know we got it on deck. They going to want to scream per capita after this, y'all. Because they lead the way in all of this. But they want to holler 1350. I'm going to show y'all how much white people lie and how they inflate stats, y'all. Watch this. Watch this. No, that is not what posy means. If you go back and search the origin of the word, they called Indians posies. They call Indians posies. That's why they said ring around the rosies, pockets full of posies, ashes to ashes, we all fall down. They were massacring Indians. They had wagons circling Indians, knocking them back, knocking their heads off. Do your research. Do your research. Yeah. 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 Tell Trump to stop touching them women. Tell Trump to stop touching them women. That's what you do. Huh? Tell Trump to persecute himself and everybody. Better yet, deport yourselves. Deport yourselves. Let's go.
And we're going to examine what are these socioeconomic realities, the cultural realities that drive this phenomenon. So not wasting no time, let's get into it. Now, when you examine the data that's available, the first thing you'll realize is this. There's high male representation, right? Over 90% of those sentenced for child pornography offenses are men. So that's a shame. But when you go even deeper, right? Now, time out. Now, because I don't want to keep saying the word child pornography in my video, because it's even disgusting for me to say, I'm just going to say exploitation material, right? That's what I'm going to say instead of just repeating that over and over throughout the video. So I'm going to say exploitation material instead. So let's continue. Now, as you can see, over 90% are men, but when you go down even deeper to the demographics, it says white individuals are overrepresented in exploitation material cases. And statistics from the U.S. Sentencing Commission show that they make up the largest racial group of offenders. For example, a 2023 report on federal exploitation material cases indicated that 77.1% of the offenders were whites. The average offender is typically in their late 30s to early 40s, is often single and tends to have more education and higher income than other types, right? So as you can see, like I mentioned in my video yesterday, when you examine the crime that takes place in the black community, you notice that it's mainly relegated and condensed into the lower rung of society, right? On the economically marginalized fringes of society, that's where the crime is highly concentrated. But when you examine these crimes, you notice that it's not often the economically disadvantaged sectors of society. It's actually those who have an education, you know, those who went to school, those who got some money, those who have a property, those who are on paper, at least on the surface, productive members of.
Hey y'all, we got a fool in here said, like Pac said, you fools need to start throwing your babies in the garbage and you know, Planned Parenthood and them. Well, fools, y'all need to stop molesting y'alls and eating y'all babies. Huh? Y'all only need white women to give birth to your little S-slaves. You use your children for S-slaves. That's the only reason y'all even want women. A majority of y'all identify with the rainbow community. A majority of y'all identify with the rainbow community. You cut homosexual jokes all day. Y'all white men don't like P-U-S-S-Y. Y'all like B-O-T-T-Y. Y'all just need some S-slaves. So y'all procreate the white woman 1 or 2 times to get y'all some S-slaves. Y'all know y'all like them 12 to 14 years old. You know y'all love them 12 to 14 years old. That mean they pure for y'all, right? Y'all drink their blood, y'all eat them, y'all do all of that. We know what was going on up there in the Caucasus Mountains. We know what y'all did on them slave ships too, them 1.4 million African slaves that died during that voyage. We know how y'all survived. We know how y'all ate. That's why y'all like bloody meat to this day. You even eat your women when they bloody, you nasty pervs.
Society, but they're engaged in certain nefarious activity behind the scenes, right? So it's very weird. Usually, you know, crime is supposed to be amongst the economically disadvantaged, but in this culture, crime is happening at all levels of society, right? All the way at the top down to the bottom. All type of crime is going down. You know, just criminality all over the place. Now let's continue. Now let's head over to the United States Sentencing Commission, right? Coming straight from the government. Now, as you can see, for those who were sentenced for exploitation material cases, 98% were men, 77% were whites, 12.8% Hispanic, 5.8% black, 4.3% other races. Now, before I get started, I just want to make something very clear. I want to give a disclaimer, right? I'm not saying that any one community has a monopoly over any type of crime or predatory behavior. We already know every group has individuals engaged in all type of nefarious activity. What I'm talking about in this presentation is the overrepresentation of a certain demographic, right? Compared to your share of the overall population, to your share of arrests and convictions in certain categories of crime, right? So when you see one demographic show up consistently more than you'd expect in a certain sector of crime, that's simply all we're talking about, right? So we're going to be examining the numbers, the data, the patterns, the research, right? That's all I'm doing, right? So anyway, let's continue. Let's get into it. Now, Dr.
King Fire just dropped some facts up in here. I'm going to start with Sharice, though. Sister Sharice say, We was here first, and no one don't want the truth. Yeah, they don't know. They don't want to know the truth. King Fire just came in here and dropped the mic on y'all. King Fire say they don't want Poom Poom unless it's bloody or underage. Ooh, say that. Ooh, Pastor offering trays around, boy. Hey, Pastor King Fire. Pastor King Fire. Well, brother, what a message, my man. I can get behind you on that one. Yes, sir. Pastor King Fire came in here today and blew up the church, y'all. I say Pastor King Fire set it on fire. Yes, he did. Go ahead, King Fire. Go ahead, King Fire.
Even Steinmetz, a professor, a sociologist, anthropologist, he actually wrote an article conducting research on the topics. But
look, y'all, they starting to leave the room, y'all. They starting to leave the room. Hey, can y'all racists get the likes up before y'all leave? I work hard to debunk y'all lies today. The least y'all can do is shoot me a like. Oh, I forgot y'all don't like the truth. Okay, good black people, can y'all shoot me a like? Huh? Good black people, can y'all shoot me a like? Black family, I gotta get close to 100, black family. I gotta get close to 100, black family. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get them 100 likes, black family. Come on, we need other black people to find this conversation on YouTube. Come on, black family. Come on, FBA. Let's get them up. Let's get them up, y'all. What do you want from me? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. Yeah, like you can't handle the sun. Huh? I put my son, the S-U-N, up against your son, S-O-N, any day. I ain't got to worry about when my son gonna rise. I ain't got to worry about when my son coming back. My son is up and out and shining right now, empowering people look like me. Ooh, what is your son doing? What is your son doing? He ain't sitting on the right-hand side of no father. He don't exist. He only exists in that Bible. He can't save you. He can't even save you from our son. And sunscreen can't either. Let's go.
Typically, the article was entitled, Exploring the Explanations for the White Overrepresentation in Online Child Sex Abuse and Exploitation. And some of the findings...
Oh, I like that. We like Marvin Sapp up in here today. Ushers, lock the doors. Ushers, y'all heard me. Lock the doors. You ain't going nowhere but out to these restaurants to eat and spend your money. We need to raise some money. Lock your doors. Ha! The truth is coming out.
Into in his research was that one of the main drivers was opportunity and access. It said that in the early years when, child exploitation material first began popping on the internet and online, white males had a large amount of access to home internet, personal computers, and credit cards in the early years. So they were pretty much the ones who were the earliest and the first to the game in terms of the internet. So once the internet first began, blowing up back in the late 90s, early 2000s, these guys went straight to watching child porn, right? So anyways, they also mentioned the cultural factors, right? Certain online communities evolved in forums that were frequented by white middle-class males, which suggests that there was a cultural affinity in terms of the patterns, right? So that's some of the findings that Dr. Steinmetz found in his research, right? Now, let's continue. I'm gonna go over to another paper, this one titled Child Exploitation Material Possessors, the Trends in the Offender and the Case Characteristics. Right?
I got the receipts, y'all.
In many respects,
I got the receipts.
The possessors of exploitation material arrested in 2006 were similar to those arrested back in 2000. They were virtually all men, and the great majority were non-Hispanic whites. They were not concentrated in any particular geographic location. Their levels of education and income were similar in both years and ranged widely. Few had backgrounds that included mental illness, violence, substance abuse, or prior arrest for sexual or other offenses. Few cases involved multiple offenders. Although the number of arrests for the crimes involving exploitation material possession more than doubled between 2000 and 2006, the population of offenders and the dynamics of the offenses remained stable in many respects. So, between 2000 and 2006, the arrests for those engaged in this type of behavior, it more than doubled, right?
Mr. V.
And the internet, obviously, from 2000 and 2006, obviously became more widespread. So as the internet became more widespread, this activity became more widespread. But they said that the population and the demographics of the offenders remained the same. So that tells me that as internet use became more widespread amongst the population, you would think that this level of activity or criminal activity would rise amongst the general population of men in general. But they noticed that it was only one demographic of men that was driving the activity, right? It was one demographic that was the main producers, distributors, and consumers of the activity. So that's what they find in their research. Now let's continue. Now, this is coming from the Home Office, I believe, out of the UK. Now, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe the Home Office in the UK is like the equivalent of...
Even in the UK, they lead the way, y'all. Even in the UK, it's the same actual problems with these white men in here running their mouths right now, y'all. They just got done. They just got done planning their daughter's panty drawers before they came to this live, y'all. And these white men in here talking trash and trying to call us evil and racist. And look at them. Even in the UK, they lead the way in this. Guess what? You lead the way in Europe with it too. I done checked them stats. In every major white country and continent, this right here seems to plague them. This along with the homosexuality, y'all. Let's tell the truth about it. And colonization and that lying white Jesus, that Christianity religion y'all trying to oppose people with. Let's go.
The United States, we have the Department of Homeland Security, I think, right? Anybody from the UK, let me know if I'm correct, right? But anyway, they said this. Most child sex abuse gangs are made up of white men, according to the Home Office, right? That's what the government out in the UK is saying. It said, it found that while offenders come from diverse backgrounds, groups tended to be of men of the same ethnicities. Money and sex were the motivations, as well as a sexual interest in children and misogyny. Now, let's get into another research paper.
Donald Trump.
Entitled, From Child Pornography Offending to Child Sexual Abuse, a review of child pornography offender characteristics and a risk for a crossover. They said this, when it came to demographics. There is some consensus about the demographic characteristics of child pornography offenders. For example, studies report that offenders tend to be primarily white, aged between 25 and 50 years old, and compared to child sexual abusers, they're more likely to be employed.
You welcome, Mr. V. Boy, y'all look at them white demons run. Boy, they tucking their tails like some scary little dogs. Boy, they getting up out of here. Didn't I tell y'all we was gonna drop down about 40 people? I told y'all to take a head count, a roll call. See how many people was in here. Cause I told you when I played the truth what was gonna happen. Oh, they mad right now, y'all. They mad right now. I told y'all what was gonna happen. They do it all the time. They do it all the time. That's why they're unaccountable, because they don't stick around to hear the truth. They just want to denigrate and downgrade everybody else. I told y'all this is what the F I do. This is what I do. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell your cousins. Hell, tell your pets, tell all on the tune in. Don't take them to church, bring them right here if you want the truth. Don't take them to church, bring them right here. I'm not passing around an offering tray. Now, I do take donations, but I can't force you to give. I'm not passing around an offering tray. I ain't doing that. I'm just giving you truths. I'm teaching y'all how to fight white supremacy. I'm teaching y'all how to debunk these white racists when y'all encounter them and their white lies. I'm giving you substance. I'm doing what no other black man is doing on the internet right now. I go deep with this. I'm revolutionary with this thing, y'all. They took something from me that I love. They took my grandmother from me. You think I give a damn how they feel? You think I give a how they feel? This is dedicated to my grandmother, Miss Doris Wright.
With regard to intellectual functioning, a considerable amount of child pornography offenders have above average intelligence. In several studies, about 30% had completed higher education, right? So these are men who, like Tim Tebow said, these are men who have jobs, good jobs. These are men who, probably got a few dollars, who have higher education. And in their free time, they like to engage in this type of activity, right? Now, let's continue. Now, just like in my video yesterday, where I showed you a bunch of different news stories, recent news stories about a bunch of black men who received exonerations, who are free from prison for crimes they did not commit. I'm going to do the same thing in this case. I'm going to show you a bunch of news stories, recent stories that are related to the topic.
See, here y'all go. The truth is about to come out about 1350. I told y'all he was lying. I told y'all Charlie Kirk was lying. That's why me and Brother in the Cut, we are the self-proclaimed Black Charlie Jerks. This ain't Turning Point USA, it's Burning Joint USA. And we gonna burn this joint down with the truth. Salute the brother in the cut. Salute the sister Sage Moore. Salute the Mother Earth. You know what I'm saying? We getting the truth out there, y'all. We getting the truth out there. This is a team effort. Let's go.
talking about today, right? So not wasting no time. We spoke about this in the video last week, right? A Charleston County magistrate judge charged with possessing child exploitation material, right? This individual right here, judge accused of having child abuse materials. A judge down in South Carolina. Now, let's continue. August 2025, a New Hampshire police officer arrested and charged with child exploitation offenses. This individual right here. The feds charge a man who worked as a Seabrook police officer with receiving child exploitation material, right? As you can see, you know, looks like a regular guy walking down the street. Now, take a look up on the screen. According to the charging documents, on October 16, 2024 to October 17, 2024, Gia Russo knowingly received video files depicting child abuse on Kick. I think that's a social media app. It is alleged that the victims in these videos appear to be approximately 5 years old to 11 years old, right? So this guy,
fake news,
I mean? He wants to
fake news,
to grown women, beautiful.
Listen, because mainstream media won't put these clowns and these scumbags out there, they assume it's fake news. This is what y'all hide off of your mainstream media. But you want to show us black people. You want to show our mug shots, don't you? You want to demonize and dehumanize us, don't you? This is everything that your white mainstream media won't show. They won't put y'all clowns in y'all place. That's why I love social media. I love social media. I love social media. You know why? Because we tell the truth and we present proof. You know what I'm saying? Somebody say it with me. We tell the truth and we present proof. He talking about it's fake news. They go to article right there, fool. What's fake about that, fool? That actually happened. Liar. You lie more than your Asian orange president do, boy. He lying about rashes and everything right now. He lying about everything right now. Boy, y'all trained liars, boy. That's what white supremacists do. I told you, you got to stick to your lie, but your time is up. Your time is up. Don't you realize within the next 10, 20 years that a majority of your lawmakers will be brown and black in this country? What do you think is going to happen to you? Y'all been trying to get to the moon and get to Mars. Now it'd be a good time to go. Fly high, fly proud. You better go, because them tables going to turn. All of them racist laws and policies that your white forefathers put in place to give you a 300-year advantage, and to give you economic stability over every other ethnic group in this country and around the world globally, oh, it's coming to an end. Yeah, that Bible y'all believe in says that he shall make thy enemy thy footstool. Black people, get ready to prop your feet up. Get ready to prop your feet up. They back's bad anyway. They walk around here with the humpback syndrome. Black folks, get ready to prop your feet up. Brown folks, get ready to prop your feet up. And we gonna turn the heat up because we know them vampires don't like that. Them vampires don't like that. They disappear when the sun come out. Poof! We some daywalkers, y'all.
Women, nah, that's not for him. That's not for him. Give him the 5-year-olds and the 6-year-olds. That's more his speed, right? That's what he's into. That's what gets him excited. He don't want a beautiful woman, beautiful, shapely woman, nice shape, nice figure. No, he don't want that. He not into that. No. Right? Anyway, let's continue. June 2025, a federal agent has been charged with the production of child exploitation material. Right? These are all recent cases, and you notice they're all law enforcement so far. Judges, sheriffs, and police officers. And this guy, an agent of Homeland Security, as you can see, right? Timothy Ryan Gregg, 51 years old, coerced a minor and produced child exploitation material. According to the court documents, Timothy Ryan Gregg attempted, coerced, and enticed a minor victim to take part in sexually explicit conduct for the purpose of producing child exploitation material. According to court documents, the father of the minor victim discovered multiple sexually explicit images and videos on the minor victim's cell phone, right? So this guy, instead of doing his job as an agent of, Homeland Security, instead of protecting the American people, he is assaulting the children of the American people. Now let's continue. May 2025. Now you notice all of these cases happened in the past few weeks, past few months. A Minnesota state trooper, once again, law enforcement, police officer, judges, Homeland Security agents, state troopers, right? A Minnesota state trooper charged with
the Trump protege say this is fake news, y'all. Can somebody look up this particular? Y'all know this ain't fake news, but let's prove it to them, y'all. One of y'all moderators, can y'all look up Minnesota state trooper charged with production of child? I can't say the P word, but y'all see what it says. Can y'all look it up? Can one of y'all look it up? And when you find it, post it, y'all. Post it, y'all. He say it's fake news. It ain't faker than your president. It ain't faker than the reason he got over there. He got our people over there in Iran. You know what I'm saying? It ain't faker than these gas prices we seeing. Huh? It ain't faker than that. Putting all that strain on American people, but America first, right? For your own selfish gains. Huh? Because you're mad about a Nobel Peace Prize. You don't deserve it. You deserve death. You deserve death. Death before dishonor, remember? You deserve death. Let's go. I can't say it. Pornography. Illegal pictures of children. Photos. Can we say photos? Photos. I think I'm safe with that, y'all. I got demonetized yesterday on that live. I'm not trying to get demonetized today. That's why I'm talking encrypted. I got to make my money one way or the other. You know what I mean? I got to make my money one way or the other. So I'm not going to hurt myself. And I ain't finna be screaming at these people in the chat no more hurting my pockets either. They just gonna get the heck up out of here. You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna happen.
Production of child exploitation material. This guy right here, Jared.
Wait, I thought it was fake news. I thought it was fake news. I guess that's a fake mugshot. I guess that guy was supposed to be black. I thought this was fake news. Huh? I thought it was fake news. Where Trump at? Huh? Where Trump at? I thought this was fake news. Huh? I guess that's a fake mugshot. I guess that's a fake person. That's AI, huh? That's AI. What you gonna say now? Per capita? AI? What you gonna say? What you gonna say? Stop playing victim? What you gonna say? You gonna say we racist? What you gonna say, clown, to keep from being accountable? What are you going to say, clown? What are you gonna say, Ronald McDonald? What are you gonna say?
Polanski, charged with producing the material, right? Like I told you, the government breaks it down into different categories. You have those who are producing the material, the videographers, the producers, the video editors, right? These guys are on set with their cameras abusing children, right? Then you have those who are trafficking the material, right? You know, sending it around, distributing it, selling it for profit, things like that. And then you have those who are receiving it, the consumers, right? So it's like a whole chain, right? From the production to the consumption. So this guy, when he was off the clock as a state trooper, when he wasn't, you know, serving and protecting the community, allegedly, his side job was producing exploitation material of children, right? That was his side gig. His side hustle was abusing children and selling the videos, right? That was his side hustle. Now let's continue. March 2025. A sheriff's deputy arrested on child exploitation charges. Like I said, every single story.
I guess that's fake news too. I guess that's a fake mugshot too. Huh? I told y'all, don't subscribe to mainstream media. That is fake news. But over here on social media, you get that real sugar honey iced tea. And now y'all know who control mainstream media and why they always paint the narratives against us, right? Because they don't run these stories on mainstream. You ain't gonna see that on Fox. You ain't gonna see that on ABC. You ain't gonna see that on NBC. You ain't gonna see that at MSNBC. You ain't gonna see that on none of them stations. Huh? Because they gotta protect their cause. They gotta make white look right. They gotta make white look right. When we know that they are the lineage of freaking evil. If they ran stories like this on mainstream media, they'll never get the stories about us, y'all. Because there's so many of these stories out here right now. I mean, I got it all on my Facebook page. I get the articles sent to me through my emails. Come on, are you kidding me? I got a phone full of this. All current, up-to-date stuff. So if I want to put you out there, just start a segment on how white people do this, man, I got years worth of material just in my phone alone to run on. Huh? If I wanted to change up my whole content right now and just make it about this subject with them, man, you better believe I would never run out of ammunition. Never.
The past few weeks, past few months, has been law enforcement. From the judges to the cops on the street. A Steuben County Sheriff deputy who went by the name the AC Man 990 online faces child exploitation charges, right? This guy right here, right? So when he was...
Now think about how many black people this clown probably locked up for the simplest stuff, y'all. He's doing worse dirt. What he done locked black people up for a joint? Huh? For jaywalking? Spitting on the sidewalk? You know what I mean? Think about all the black people this man done put them metal bracelets on and gave felonies to, and he's out here committing the most egregious felonies, y'all. I told y'all, lineage of evil. These people are not accountable. They cannot look the truth in the eyes and stand with integrity. They can't do it. They can't do it. Where's all the vampires now? Do y'all hear any of them sounding off in the comments? Nothing. You can hear a rat piss on cotton, can't you? Nothing. Nothing.
Off the clock, when he wasn't working as a cop, he was, indulging in child exploitation. Now let's continue. July 2025, a Montgomery County police officer charged in a child exploitation case. My God, that's this guy right here, right? So
this guy.
I don't know what's up with the police, man. I don't know what's up
with
law enforcement.
Fake news, AI, per capita, victim, right? This guy, huh? This guy. Why ain't they saying anything now, y'all? But I was all kind of clowns and racist and everything else. Huh? I told y'all they fear smart, educated black people. I told y'all. And don't worry, I'm going to get me some security. Because if you roll your little racist butts up on me, I'm going to make sure your body's dropped too. I'm going to get me some security. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get me some security. I'm going to make sure if I drop, you drop. We all fall down, just like your song say, let's go.
And this activity. But anyways, take a look up on the screen. September 2025, a Blount County Sheriff's Office employee arrested on child exploitation charges.
Fake news. Fake news. It can't be fake. It happened September 9th, 2025. It can't be fake. Huh? It can't be fake. But that's the excuse they want to use. They can't be accountable, them darn demons.
Faces 11 counts involving child exploitation, including the dissemination of child sex material, transmitting obscene material, and electronic solicitation of a child. My goodness. Now, let's continue.
These children ain't safe, y'all. How we got CPS workers around here, and most of your CPS workers don't even have children. They don't even have children, but they showing up to black homes, telling us how to raise our children, but look what they're doing to their children. Huh? Look what they're doing to their children. Huh? Look at that. Look at that. Look what they're doing to their children. They don't protect their children. They don't protect their children. They look at their children as food and sexual comfort, y'all. Food and sexual comfort. Huh? They don't look at their women that way. They look at their 12 to 14-year-old babies that way. They are sick. To them, they think when their babies start their menstrual cycles, they think those babies are mature. No, fool. That means that she is maturing into a woman. Mature and maturing is two different things. And you need to know that. You need to know that. Yeah. I told y'all they quit to lock their doors and clutch their purses when black people come near them. Black people, when y'all out in public and y'all got y'all children and y'all see one of these demons coming, hold your babies tighter than you ever held them before. Squeeze them as if you're trying to take the breath out of them. Because y'all never know when they gonna try to snatch one. You never know. This is why I tell y'all they need to be born with ankle monitors on. Every time one of them come into the world, if we can't sew their mama vagina closed while she in labor so that they don't come out, you know what I'm saying? Then we need to put ankle monitors on them and electric shockers, you know what I'm saying? So that when they go near these babies, we know from the GPS from that ankle monitor and that shocker gonna shock the heck out of them. That's what we need. Yep, you got it. CPS, Child PDF Services. You got it. You nailed it. Cedric, I like that, Cedric. Cedric, y'all might as well welcome Cedric to the tribe. See, when you come in here dropping facts like that, I got to reward you. Y'all might as well welcome Cedric to the family, man. You know what I'm saying? And Cedric, we happen to have the same last name, homie. But y'all welcome Cedric to the family. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, I like them truths. Yeah, that's how we know they live a lie because they hate the truth. Ooh, bars. That's how we know y'all live a lie because you hate the truth. Oh my God, the ancestors speaking through me this morning. Oh my God, I'm tapping in this morning, y'all. That's how we know y'all love living lies because you hate the truth. Oh my God, boy, that carry weight. Right there. Oh my God, let's go.
August 2025, an Illinois State Police trooper arrested on federal child exploitation charges. This individual right here, right? I don't know what is up with these individuals and the police. Like I said, every single case has been a policeman. Now, take a look up on the screen. At the time of his arrest, agents executed a search warrant at his home where they found a 16 gigabyte flash drive inside a nightstand in his bedroom.
He had a giga drive full of this stuff. Now, we keep photo albums of family and good times and stuff. This fool got a doggone memory drive of the egregious acts that he, man, you can't make this stuff up. But they ain't talking about this, y'all. Huh? They want to holler that 1350. Yeah, 1350 ain't, they come on, man. What's bigger, 2977 or 1350? And we know that 50% of us are exonerated from falsely accused crimes. Y'all even heard him say it. Huh? 13% is not a big enough part of the population to commit 50% of any crimes. That's how you know it's inflated. They're just not telling the truth. They lie. That's why you got people like me who tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got people like me who tell the truth. I am here to debunk it. See, these people don't know who to debate with. They don't know who to debate with. Boy, if you put me on your show, you put me on Fox News, I'm going to hurt your feelings. I'm no holds barred. I don't care where I'm at. And I don't care what I say out of these black lips. I don't care what I say, as long as it's the truth. Boy, they will never put me on them platforms. They'll never invite me. You better believe they know. They'll never invite me. They'll never show up and have them conversations with a brother like me. They won't do it. They won't do it. They won't do it. They won't do it.
In addition to a folder labeled with his government-issued email, another subfolder on the flash drive labeled as DIVX contained about 200 videos of children as young as 9 years old being sexually abused by adults. Now, let's continue.
If these people really believed in that made-up God and that Jesus they gave y'all, y'all heard what he just said? This could be y'all children. This could be y'all children. Did you hear what he just said? Did you hear what he just said? Let's run that back. Let's run that back. Did you hear what this brother just said? Run that back. How many? How many? They make a career out of this, y'all. They make a career out of this. We play basketball for a hobby. They assault children for a career. Let's go.
This individual right here, right? I don't know what is up with these individuals and the police.
I need those 100 likes, fam. I need those 100 likes, fam. Can we get to 100 likes? I'm going to be ending this live soon. I didn't get my super chat goal. You know what I mean? Can we at least get the likes? I need y'all to start supporting the platform, y'all. I'm burning lights in here. I'm burning 5 lights. My bills are going up, and I'm trying to give y'all the truth. I need my people to be more supportive of the truth and what's going on and what it takes to bring you the truth. I need my people to be more supportive, y'all. This isn't church. I'm not going to pass around an offering tray. I'm not going to condemn you for not giving, but I'm letting you know we can use the help. I can use the help, y'all. I ain't burning my bills up sky high. I done ran a 12-hour live, and you can't imagine what my light bill was. 5 likes, and there's no financial monetary means coming from my people for putting the truth out there. But today is Sunday. You'll show up to church and pay your pastor for lying to you. Today is Sunday. You'll show up and pay for the white Jesus lie, but y'all won't pay or help out for the truth. I'm empowering you more than that lying pastor can, because I'm teaching you how to empower you. I'm teaching you that you don't have to wait on a white man to come save you. I'm showing you that there is God within you, that you are a God. That pastor's getting you excited to die, and you're paying him for your eulogy. I'm giving it to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually risking this channel. Yes, I am. And you better believe YouTube email me daily. I constantly get strikes. Constantly get strikes. So if I can't make my money on YouTube, I need y'all to send those cash apps. I need y'all to send those super chats. Real talk. I need those likes up, y'all. If we the tribe, if we family, and we all rock together and it's all love, then I need y'all to get active, man. I need y'all to get active, man. Because YouTube ain't paying me. Thank you. Thank you for that GOAT. Thank you for that, BJ. Thank you. YouTube ain't paying me. Don't forget who control YouTube. It's the very same people we talking about. They listen to this stuff. I need y'all to be supportive. If I'm going to make it, it's going to be through y'all. If this platform grows, it's going to be because of y'all. It's going to be because of y'all. I need more equipment. I'm sitting here letting you hear it because I really can't afford right now to go back into my pockets using my money to go buy these other streams and pay for all this other stuff so that I can show it to you. But if everyone makes contributions to the platform, then it can pay for itself. And you will see where your money is going because you will see the platform progress with technology and everything. I didn't hit this thing with the base, y'all. I'm not a popular person. I roll dolo everywhere I go. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a strong base. I don't like people like that. I roll with good folks. So I didn't start this with a strong base like most people do. I started from zero, ground up, y'all. Ground up. I've been doing this for 6 years and y'all are just not hearing about me. So imagine the work I've put in. If you go on my platform to tell you I have 1.4,1,400 videos. I didn't just start this yesterday. Y'all are just starting to discover me today. That's how it works. So I need that support, y'all. I need that support. I'm depending on my people, the tribe, everyone who hollers FBA, B1, all of this. Well, let's be one. Let's make it foundational. I can't continue to have these lives and come out dry because my bills are going up. If I can't pay those bills, if I can't get that technology I need to bring y'all the truth in a comfortable and more traditional fashion like they're doing now, then I'm wasting my time and your time. And we don't want to waste each other's time. You know what I'm saying? Come on, y'all. Come on. Same thing I'm asking you for. You're putting on your Sunday's clothes right now, and you done saved 10% from the whole week of busting your butt out work to go get it to your pastor. I'm not asking for 10%. I don't care if you just give me $1. I don't care. If you got 300 people in a live, and those 300 people all donate $1, guess what? Guess what?
Like I said, every single case has been a policeman. Now, take a look up on the screen. At the time of his arrest, agents executed a search warrant at his home where they found a 16-gigabyte flash drive inside a nightstand in his bedroom.
100 likes, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we 17 short. We 17 short of the goal of 100 likes. That just takes 17 people to hit that like button. 17 people, y'all. 17 more people to hit that like button.
In addition to a folder labeled with his government-issued email, another subfolder on the flash drive labeled as DIVX contained about 200 videos of children as young as 9 years old being sexually abused by adults. Now, let's continue. Former Covington Deputy Police Chief indicted on child exploit.
Thank you, FMG. FMG, thank you for the $2 super chat. And he goes, it's easy, everybody, just like this. Thank you, FMG. Thank you.
Charges. The new indictment comes more than a year after his previous trial ended in a hung jury. Now, basically what they're saying is this guy has been arrested again when just last year he beat a case, right? He beat the case last year and now he's been arrested again on new charges, right? So he beat the case and went right back to watching the material. Goddamn. Anyway, let's continue. A former deputy chief with the Covington Police Department is now facing more child exploitation charges. 41-year-old Randall Mahon was indicted.
Police chief, y'all. Police chief, y'all. Huh? They pledge, y'all. They take vows and oaths to protect the people. They should be the last ones opposing and oppressing the people and afflicting the people, y'all. Police chiefs, you're not going to see this on mainstream media. But I got to beg for that support, though. I got to beg for 17 likes. I could just leave y'all to watch Fox News and y'all could believe whatever they put on there about us. I'm passionate about this. I dedicate my work to my grandmother. I dedicate my work to my grandmother. Thank you, Mr. V, for the $2 super chat. Pass the truth plate. Thank you, Mr. V. It's that simple. It's that simple, everybody. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who sent their gift. Thank you to everyone who sent the super chat. Thank you to everyone who sent a cash app. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your support. This is how we come together. This is how we make it work so that it keeps working in our favor, y'all. So it keeps working in our favor. Thank you, BJ1959 for the $2 super chat. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for your support. He says we must expose the monsters. Yes. Yes. All day, every day. All day, every day. Thank you to everyone. Thank you.
17 counts of possession of child exploitation material involving juveniles and 1 count of indecent behavior with a juvenile under the age of 13. He was already facing 5 counts of possession and 1 count of indecent behavior with a juvenile. Now let's continue.
Free my grandma say, that's what I'm talking. That's what I'm saying. Let's get it, FBA. Let's go. We got to learn and unify and stand together, man. They not going to do it. Y'all see how these clowns talk when they come in here and hear the truth? Come on, y'all. I shouldn't have to validate who I am anymore. Every time they come in here with it, and even some of y'all think, oh, they might stump them on this one. I knock them out every time. I give them receipts every single time. There's not one person who's came in here. I'm undisputed, y'all. I'm undisputed, y'all. I feel like Bud Crawford around here. I'm undisputed, y'all. I feel like Terrence Bud Crawford, y'all. I'm undisputed. Because I realize the only people that can take me down is my own people. It's my own people. They can't take me down. They ain't got what it takes. They ain't got what it takes. They can't take me down. And I won't be on YouTube too long. I'm going to look into a Patreon or a Rumble account or something. Because it's bad on YouTube. It's bad here. Yes, the Cash App is better, y'all. Because YouTube's not sending me my money. So if y'all can send those Cash Apps, that works great. Thank you, Cedric Brown. Thank you for the $1 Cash App. Thank you. But I'm going to let y'all know, YouTube is not sending me my money. I've been monetized since January. It's March. I've got nothing from YouTube. Nothing. I can see it on there, but I'm not getting it. And I'm losing like $20 a day. So if y'all can send those Cash Apps, please send those Cash Apps. My Cash App is pinned on the screen right here. $, Mr. Uncut Consciousness. It's pinned there. I appreciate the super chats, but that goes to YouTube first. And I'm not seeing that. I'm not receiving that. YouTube know I'm not lying. They know I'm not lying. And I ain't trying to knock them. They're giving me an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Cedric Brown. Can we send those to Cash App, please? Anything else that y'all send, can we send to the Cash App? Because like I said, yes, that money is going to YouTube, but I haven't received anything from YouTube. I've emailed YouTube and everything. I'm not receiving it. So can y'all please send it to the Cash App? $, Mr. Uncut Consciousness. $, Mr. Uncut Consciousness. Again, $, Mr. Uncut Consciousness.
April 2025, a former sheriff's deputy sentenced to 65 years in prison for child sex crimes. This individual right here, right? Now, let's continue. A healthcare executive who was a repeat purchaser of child exploitation material.
A healthcare executive, y'all. They examine babies. They examine children. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, J-Dub. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you, J-Dub, for the Cash App. Anything else we do, ladies and gentlemen, you know what I'm saying? Please send via Cash App. I'm not getting this money off of YouTube. I'm not saying that I'll never get it, but for some reason, I'm not getting it. So I'm waiting around the 21st through the 26th of this month to see if they're going to send it out. But I'm not receiving it, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not receiving it. So we can send everything via Cash App. I don't care what it is, even if it's $1. I don't care if it's 30 cents. I'm still going to tell you thank you as if you sent me $300 because you didn't have to. I don't care if it's 30 cents. I'm still going to tell you thank you and be just as grateful. Be just as grateful.
Who insisted on being called daddy by minors, right? So this guy right here, he wanted little children, call me daddy, call me daddy, right? This guy, right? Anyway, let's get into his story. And Long Island said that he messaged 11 girls from the ages of 14 to 17 on social media and enticed them into sending sexual content for.
I do remember that story of that nurse doing that. I do remember that, BJ. BJ, keep rocking with us and popping up. I know who you are, and I've been reading your comments. I can see you getting a moderator badge too. And I'm working on different badges. I'm trying to customize the badges. I'm doing all of this by myself, y'all, trying to figure it out. So I still got to open up my store. I have shirts and stuff, all kind of stuff, but I'm trying to figure out how to open up the online store. I have custom badges that I'm working on to give to each moderator, you know what I mean, that fits your personality. I'm trying to do all this stuff alone, as well as put the content out there. You know what I mean? It's rough. It's rough. It's rough. Brother in the cut, he goes to dialysis. He helps me when he can. You know what I mean? That man will leave dialysis after getting his body beat up and come over here and help me on the platform. And he's working construction, y'all. And he's terminally ill. Brother in the, and that's another good example. Brother in the cut, full-blooded Cherokee Indian. And he's darker than me. America would call him black. I know his whole family. Full-blooded Cherokee Indian. He wears a bald head, but if he grows his hair out, his hair is naturally curly. Naturally curly. Now I need y'all to Google the pencil test. Google the pencil test of how they went back and reclassified Indians with the pencil test. If a pencil fell out of your hair when they put it in, you were an Indian. If the pencil stuck in your head when they put it in, you were classified as a Negro. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I guarantee that pencil fall out of brother in the cut head. Fall right out. Fall right out.
And we paid them for it. Now, let's continue. May 2025, he founded an orphanage for vulnerable boys in Haiti and was sentenced to 210 years in prison. Let's get into it. At trial, 6 victims who lived at the orphanage testified about the sexual abuse and the physical assault they suffered at the hands of Gollenfield. Now adults, the victims spoke about the devastating impact the abuse had on Gollenfield, used his position of trust and access to exploit vulnerable children under the guise of humanitarian work, right? So that's why it's very insulting to me when these guys always talk about, oh man, we do so much charity. Look at all the charity we doing. When in reality, we know that a good chunk of y'all is simply coming over to engage in all type of nefarious behavior that you couldn't get away with in your home country, right?
There it is. There it is. No, they done reclassified us 5 times. Indian. Well, first copper colored / Indian. Mulatto. Colored. Negro. Black. African American. So that's like 5, 6 reclassifications right there of the same people. Now, why are they reclassifying us and us only? What do they know that they don't want us to know that I'm telling y'all right now about your true identity? Think about what I just said. What do they know that they don't want us to know that I'm telling y'all right here on this platform right now about who we really are, about our true identity? They know their job is to hide it. Their job is to hope that it never gets discovered. That's why you hear me saying the lies should have quit when the internet hit. That's why you hear me saying that. They did not think this through when they released the internet. They burnt hundreds of thousands of books, y'all. Millions of books so that the truth never got out. Burned them, scorched them, burned them. The lies should have quit when the internet hit. Real talk. And I'm going to be wrapping this up, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate everyone who stuck in here. I appreciate everyone, you know, just, man, FBA, man. I appreciate everyone who's seeking the truth and who knows the truth. Those who want to grow in consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Those who are tired, you know what I'm saying? And just, the white fatigue is overbearing at this point, y'all. How much more are we going to take? Because our ancestors didn't take it. They stood up. And it's time for us to stand. It's that time. By any means necessary. Even if that means coming with a sacrifice, y'all. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. My life ain't never been too perfectly good for me not to lay it down for a great cause. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not afraid. I'm not. People like me don't come often. Don't come often. Don't come often. I've been this way my whole life. Since childhood. I don't eat meat. I don't do none of that. I've been this way since childhood. And I don't plan on changing. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate it, your time. I appreciate your contributions and your support. I appreciate the truth. I appreciate the tribe. BJ, keep rocking with us. I can see you being lit up in blue. You know what I mean? Cedric, thank you for coming in here, dropping them facts. You know, King Fire, you already know what it is. You know, as an FMG, you already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? J-Dub, you already know what it is. Mr. V, you already know what it is. Come on now. Come on now. Y'all, get your one-on-one. Get your one-on-one. Get your one-on-one with the real internal spiritual most high, y'all. You got that right. One time, yeah. One time, yeah. We're going to put that one time on a map, y'all. I've been saying that since day one. One time, yeah, I like that. Y'all stay prayed up, stay blessed up, stay meditated up, stay protected, stay real, stay conscious, stay uncut, be inspired, be great, be you. And I make these two. Y'all see what that say? One time, yeah. Ah, baby. One time, yeah. Y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know what it is. Huh? Y'all know what it is. Bam. Y'all know what it is. Huh? Y'all know what it is. Yeah. Y'all know what it is. Huh? They know what it is. And I'm all about, that's my URL. That's my URL. Unity, respect, and love, baby. Unity, respect, and love. Huh? That's one hell of a URL. Huh? And last but not least, yeah, I make all of this stuff, y'all. I told y'all I do everything myself. Right down to making the shirts and stuff. Yeah. I do everything myself. I stay busy. Thank you for rolling with the Uncut Squad, baby. The Uncut Squad tribe, y'all. Thank you. Yeah. Real talk. I'll be making some more of those too, just to ship out for merchandise and stuff like that too. You know what I mean? So I just got to figure out how to get this store opened up. That's really why I'm trying to get a woman on my team, y'all. You know what I mean? Because the ad-med part of this is messing me up. You know what I'm saying? It's messing me up, man. But y'all stay prayed up, stay blessed up, stay meditated up, stay protected. Stay real, stay conscious, stay uncut. Be inspired, be great. And always, no matter what, black people, be you. Walk in your power. They know who you are. They know who we are. We know who they are too. FBA, stand up. Ashe.